I'm not doing that. I
No.
kind of stopped drinking.
Kind of stopped
I'll be
drinking.
drinking.
Kind of stopped drinking when it was like last week or whatever it was, and you had like a shit ton of beers.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. He says no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I didn't have any beers. I only had one cider. That was it. And Dad gave it to me after his work party. He's like, I don't want this. I'm like, ooh, apple cider. Ooh.
Apple cider. Here I am. Look at this. Jim's got nothing going on. Wookie's trying to make an attempt, and I'm going all out. I've got the beers and the Christmas cheers. Look at this.
I don't know where to put it except for this lovely brick fucking wall.
I told you, just stick some stuff to it. Look at it. I'm all festive.
Just this little fucking part, like.
It's actually very uncomfortable though.
Yeah, my head somewhere.
Give myself a giant forehead.
a five head.
Bobbleheads, like everyone has bobbleheads.
I got my shirt on, so it doesn't matter too much. I'm wearing my traditional Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Look, there you are, right there, Wookiee.
Oh.
I had it just in case if anything happened. So.
At
least Wookiee was still here either way.
I was still here, yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't have a festive t-shirt. I do, but...
You do, but you don't, but you do.
Oh, it's somewhere. It's
somewhere. But anyway.
I can look for it.
Don't, because I don't do Christmas shirts.
It doesn't do Christmas shirts. You know, one day I'm going to send you a Christmas shirt.
Give him the ho-ho-ho, now I have a machine gun t-shirt.
Oh, well, I mean, we already have Christmas merch up on the merch website, like on the Redbubble. So.
Yeah, it's just not a good shirt to give to school children in America.
Oh no.
Yeah,
so...
and that's the joke as well. What do you do when you're at school and you finish your magazine? Reload. What do you do when you're at school and you finish reading, finished going through your magazine? You reload.
God.
Fuck's sake, that's pretty fucking good though. There's a Hans Gruber sweater. Did you know that, Wookiee?
No.
From Nakatomi Plaza, like it's just him going. Oh
yeah.
Falling.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But anyway.
Yeah, because I just typed in like Die Hard like Christmas shirt. One that popped up was a succulent Chinese meal in Christmas hat.
Yeah.
In a Christmas hat. I was like,
that would be good. Considering that guy actually, that guy actually passed away this year. Like,
yeah.
I
I was actually thinking of making my own version.
Get
of one
your
of those
hands
shirts.
off my present. It says on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
Well, I'll still do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it at some point. I was thinking of doing a design. I should do that. Just do one for every holiday. One for like Christmas, Easter.
Yeah. Do one for.
Get your hands off my bunnies or something like that.
I would like a succulent.
That looks fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, god damn.
Or I would like a succulent Christmas meal, please.
Yeah.
Succulent Chinese meal.
I have to do it. I'll do it at some point. There's a lot I gotta try and get up on do. But anyway, before we get any further, I might as well get the intro on the outro. Get it rolling. What's up, bearders and beardettes? Welcome back to another fantastic Christmas special with Wookiee. In your ear holes and our holes, and ears, eyes, and mouths, as every other hole.
Is he down there?
He's down there below, so yes.
Yeah.
Welcome back
down here. Yeah.
to another fantastic week.
I know we're flipped, so I have to go that way for you, I think.
Yeah.
Can't you readjust that?
What?
I don't think you can.
I mean, we don't really have anything for this episode, but it's not, it's just our Christmas
I have
episode.
nothing Christmassy at all.
I was going to say, like, some Christmas thing that we had, like, stories, but, I mean, there's been so much going on. It's just been crazy, because it's been Christmas.
I'm over with someone else. Like,
So
Christmas is for kids. Like, when there's no kids around, what do? You just drink.
Exactly what I'm doing right now. Well, kids.
No. You. I thought you normally drink because of the kids are around.
I mean, yeah, but even when there's none there, you still drink.
Well, yeah. You just for drinking more. Drink. Yeah.
You get absolutely shit faced. You Is that a little Kraken? God dang.
Wait, I'm gonna see if I can actually do it.
I've never had Kraken, but apparently it's fucking good.
Yeah, I had some before. I had it with my spiced the Christmas spiced ginger beer, the Bundaberg spiced. So
Yes, ginger beer. Wait, that's got a good taste apparently. Like it got a nice little kick.
oh my god! Oh my god! Let me bring that close.
Yeah.
Ah!
I think Wookie's knocking things over.
Yes.
I was not working.
I
made my camera.
I have alcohol, and it is on my vintage 1980s transformer tray.
Ooh.
TV
Oh,
tray.
Damn.
I have 2 of them. It's a little bit rusted, but it's still alright.
That's
it's not
cool.
mint condition. But I was trying to bring it out, and so I can have a little bit of this with
Gentleman Jack.
Yeah. Remember when he had the
That fucking
the
bottle is
Patron, the
iconic, man.
tequila. The
Yep.
tequila. I've got a little bit of
Feel bad,
Midori
'cause
left.
I've got the camera sitting there, and usually it's fine, but it's like in the way of Wookiee, so
And
like
Kahlua. That's about half a bottle to
the
Kahlua.
camera's in the front of Wookiee's face, so it's like awkward for me to see.
And I've got a full bottle of Bailey's, but I don't trust Bailey's after a while because it's cream.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if it's-
it shouldn't go bad though, like for a long time.
That's the same as
Yeah,
liqueur. I like
there's
the
just
same
no.
with liqueur.
If it's chunky, yeah.
Sniff it.
That's the same as that's the same as Kahlua, because Kalua's got a bit of cream in it too, so I get
Yeah. It should be alright. It should be fine. I'll put it in the fridge downstairs.
Yeah.
Remember,
I'll just
did
let
you,
it
'cause you ended up
chill for
drinking,
Christmas.
so because you end up drinking, I'm guessing.
Oh, is there a use by date on these?
I don't know.
I
Is it?
don't think. I mean, maybe if it's open, but.
Oh yeah, best
I don't know.
before end 05/2024. Okay, so it might be off.
It's 6 months old, 7 months old.
Is it?
Because the
No.
fifth will be May, so.
Yeah. It's 05/2024. So this is off. I should probably throw this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I
give
would
it to
not-
someone who is really drunk and let them drink it. And see what
Yes.
happens.
Well-
They'll probably chuck it back up. It's like.
There's a lot. I'm gonna grab these. I'll grab these.
You
there's
just
a-
give it to someone.
We'll get that. See, it's been pretty busy. We'll get into it some stuff. So
Oh, what goes good with V? I'm drinking.
I
I'm
just
drinking
noticed what
V.
you didn't have.
Gentleman Jack
Yeah.
and V? Is that a good mix?
bottle is that what we're thinking about? You're thinking about the same thing I was thinking about?
Oh, the blackened?
Yeah,
Blackened,
yeah.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
No,
about.
that's Gentleman Jack. I'm just gonna mix
What
some V
happened
and
to the
Gentleman Jack
blackened?
together.
What happened to
There
your
was
blackened?
no-
Did
there was
you?
no-
I finished off 2 bottles and I got really drunk with you guys with one of them.
What did you? You still got the bottles, or did you like?
No, I don't have the bottles. I
Oh,
can't
no.
remember what I can't remember what happened to the bottles. I think I just threw them out because I was just.
Oh, yep.
Like whatever, move it and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have V and Gentleman Jack and see what the outcome is.
Ooh, well, I've got Great
That's
Northerns.
interesting.
Okay, so far to start me off, I had a Great Northern earlier when I got back because I took Jack to the movies. I took him to go see Sonic 3, so that was pretty good movie.
Was it- Yeah,
Actually,
Yeah,
not too bad.
I have something to say about that.
Mm.
I'll put this in a sippy cup too.
Yeah, I stupidly read an IGN review of Sonic 3, right?
Yeah.
They said it's better, probably than the last two, right?
Okay.
Keanu Reeves adds a lot more, same as Jim Carrey.
Yep.
And they gave it a 6. I was like,
But didn't?
the other one's got like an 8.
Yeah.
They said it's better than them, but they gave it a 6. I was like, then
Yeah.
someone goes, oh, like blah blah blah. I was like, you do realize different people review different things.
Mm.
They said it's better, but their
To
score
them,
is
yeah.
different. Like,
Because whoever reviewed the other two, they
yeah,
thought
like
highly
an
of
7,
yeah.
8.
That's the problem where a lot of people get very confused with
It should get
IGN.
to the one person, and unless they're unavailable. Like,
But that's the problem, because that's the thing that gets me a lot with IGN is people get very like, oh, it's like, well, you do realize it's not the one person reviewing
there's
everything.
like 20 people there who review shit.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Like, because we've
Well,
found that doing review stuff like with.
that's the thing, but you should never rely on one.
no, you look
One
at
review.
Well, I don't rely on any apart from our own, but
But that's like when every time I've done a review, and if I've done a sequel or another
Because,
redone of what someone else has done, I've always referred back to like in my review saying that this is my my opinion on this version of it, and you can see someone else's version of what they gave it their score in their review. You know, like it's because we're all different. We're all gonna have preferences. So
Yep.
yeah.
But still, it's like
But
it's just better than the other two gave it a 6. I was like, it's still not a bad movie.
It was
still better than
good.
average.
It was good. To me personally, the start of the movie was a bit jumbly. Like it was very for kids. Like it's very for kids to get kids brought in, get them hyped into it.
It's not made. It is made for us, but more for the younger.
Yeah. So it's more to bring the kids in to just kind of get them hyped up. It's kind of like whatever for kids, but it's for kids to initially get it going. And once it gets going, then it starts changing. The media becomes back to more adults, and the kids are already kind of hooked in by then. So therefore, it's kind of like, and it's a backstory
just like
too.
The first movie, it started very fucking slow, and then it just built up, and then it's like Sonic, like
because it gets pretty dark too. Like it's funny but dark. Like
Shadow because
there's a lot that goes on. Like, and for a kid, like this is a kids movie, and
there's games.
There's death. There's a lot of death in this movie, and it's just like it's
Wait, did you just spoil it?
Hey,
a lot of death.
Well,
Jesus.
I'm saying for a kids movie because you got you look at other kids movies, and like they don't really go to that length, or a family movie. They don't really.
Yeah.
But like how they've done it in this, they kind of like deaths. Like it's deaths. Like it's just like, oh fuck, like.
So Shadow literally goes on a murdering spree because or Robotnik. It's only either one of them two. Like.
So it's just interesting just how they approached it, and it's just like, this is a family movie, like kids.
But then again, they had weird shit in the games in the mid 2000s.
But
they had, Sonic kissing a fucking.
They do nostalgia hit the key moments because there's like I don't know if it was in the trailer, but there's literally a scene where like Shadow hijacks like the motorbike. I think it might have been in one of the trailers, but like he hijacks the motorbike and then he like picks up a gun and he's like posing with the gun. He's like all badass, like on the bike holding the gun. And I'm like,
that was like the game, right?
Yeah.
He was an edgy character.
Yeah, and he ran around shooting everyone. Like that's what his character was. I'm like, I like how they acknowledged that. They weren't going to be shy of that. So like he's there and he has the gun. It's like
Keanu Reeves deliver.
Yeah, he's pretty good at Shadow. Like he actually. But he's like, it's weird because it's
kind of iffy because like Keanu Reeves is very.
It is weird
monotone.
though. But that's it is. It's weird. Like it works. Like it's for a lot of the things. It's Keanu Reeves being like, yes, like it's him being literally monotone. Ironically enough, but it works.
I think
it's weird.
Idris Elba would have worked better, but he was already Knuckles, so you can't really put him as Knuckles. And I mean, you could have if you changed his voice a little bit.
No, it did work because in a sense, Shadow doesn't really have massive monologues. So therefore, having Keanu be that monotone style
he's
works.
With Jim Carrey, which he has all the speaking, when Shadow does all the business. Like
Jim Carrey went Jim Carrey in this movie. Like he went.
That's what I'm keen for. It's the most Jim Carrey.
He went
like Eggman.
He went full Jim Carrey in this. Like it was throwback to a lot of like Grinch energy, like Ace Ventura energy. Like he didn't give a shit in this movie. Like he was like. Because you see how he was like in the first movie and the second movie. This movie, he was like
build him into it though. That was
yeah.
Like,
but like this movie, he just had complete fun with it and like was just like full unhinged. Like in one of the interviews they talked about because he grew his hair out. They talked about one of the interviews where he grew his hair out and they actually shave his head. They actually get his henchman to shave his head, and it's kind of a rough scene because you see him like holding him in a headlock. And it looked very uncomfortable headlock, and he's like forcibly like ripping at his head, like trying to shave his hair. Because he's got like this longer shoulder length hair, and I'm just like, this is actually happening though. Like this is Jim Carrey like actually letting him like, but like it's tough to watch because you can see him he's struggling. But it's like a one take, like they just went with it because like let's just film it with all these cameras we can and just shave your head.
It's fantastic.
But it was crazy. It was funny. I was like, because it literally felt uncomfortable to watch because he was actually shaving his head and actually struggling to do it. So like you can see the different scenes where they cut it, and you can see the awkwardness. And I was like, it's kind of interesting to see that. Like they're just like, yeah, let's just they're having fun with the movie. They literally were like, whatever, let's just do this, keep it a thing, but like let's just have fun with the scenes and stuff. Like it was cool. Which that a lot of the movies they're too serious. They don't have a bit of fun with it, and I think that's why Jim Carrey loved doing Sonic because it's so much.
Because I thought he quit doing acting.
Well, that's what I mean. He basically had.
Then he came back to
Sonic, and he's done 3. He's done 3 movies. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
so I think he's back acting again now. Like, because he kind of lost the passion for it and then got it back again.
And I think it's because
he was doing serious
he wanted to do
movies,
other things as well, like life.
And I think it got to the point because it wasn't where he wanted to go. Like, say, it's his passion. So his creativity wasn't feeling it anymore. So he wasn't feeling free expressing himself.
Yeah, because he wanted to do his art, his family, his other things. So that's what he did.
I think the Sonic role helped because he is on the cards of thinking of, like, because he has mentioned in an interview, because they made the new Grinch book, he said, like, if they adapt that into the movie, he wants to do the Grinch too. Like, he wants to be
same
that
as the
Grinch,
Mask
like,
too, like a proper sequel to the Mask. But he's like, I can't say yes or no because they were taken out of context and because he wants to do a second one now.
Yeah, like he's got and it's like, that's it. Like, take it while he's actually enjoying it and having some fun again, because he's, like he said, he picks it, like it's trying to pick those roles.
Because Cameron Diaz quit for a long time too, and now she's back.
Because Jim Carrey likes to have
both together again, like
a bit of freedom as well. He likes to have fun.
That'd be amazing. And I think a sequel like 20 odd years later, 30 years nearly.
And that's the thing with some actors. It's like some actors like to have a little bit of freedom and creativity and flowing, and that's what, like, a lot of Jim Carrey movies were. Like Ace Ventura, he kind of just did his own thing, and they just filmed it, and it was like fine for him. And there's a lot of actors that are like that.
I still can't believe Ace Ventura is very underrated. Like, you ask someone and they don't even know it.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
It's like, how do you not know Ace Ventura? Like,
but no,
how? He's
surprisingly
after a while, the Ace Ventura franchise kind of dipped because there was like Ace Ventura movies where it was spin-offs or like prequels or
it never really made money either.
No, not after.
Because the first movie made nothing. The second movie, and that was pretty much a passion project for him, really.
Oh.
It does be like that. But but Christmas.
Still the fact that he did the Dumb and Dumber 2, like, that was never going to happen.
Even he hated, like, he like, okay, we'll do it. And even he didn't really like the idea of it though. Like, he was up front.
Bad, though. It wasn't Dumb and Dumber.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even he said that. Like, even he agreed on that point that it wasn't right, and that's why he stepped away from movies, because things like that were happening. Like, he was making movies, but they weren't right. Like, he didn't feel.
It's still a good movie, but it wasn't Dumb and Dumber. It was just a good movie.
But, like, it's funny to see when the actors talk about
you can't beat it.
No, and that's what I said. It's always interesting to see when actors talk out about their movies, because that was like in one of the interviews, he was excited when he was like, because he was asked about like how he worked with like Keanu Reeves, and he's like, well, I got to work with him, but I didn't actually get to work with him because he's a voice actor for this, so we didn't actually get to be in scenes together.
They did theirs in a booth fucking in the UK and that.
Like. But watching him talk about it, like, Jim Carrey praised the hell out of Keanu Reeves. Like, it was amazing to watch in that interview. Like, he praised the hell out of him. Like,
it's not surprising though, because everyone he's worked with praises him. Like,
yeah. But like, it was in general, because he was just like, I was so excited to work with. Like, I was just happy that he was on the project, kind of thing. Like, he was just like, complimented him all the way. And I was like, that's great.
Like Jim Carrey, cool. You can't say the same for. Apparently, like, he's had movies where he's tough to work with. Like, he's a complete dick. But like, that's people.
But you can kind of get how
no one's Jim Carrey thing to say about him.
Yeah. But I mean, you can get why Jim Carrey's like that, because you can see the way he is. Like, he's struggles with a lot of different things, and he's very reserved at times, and he likes to just do his own,
snap.
Yeah.
Like he wants to feel chucking a phone at somebody. Like,
and that's it. It can be one of those things.
He is kind of a dick as well, actually, to be fair.
But Christmas, it is. I do want to clarify again. Merry Christmas to everyone. This will be rolling out just before Christmas. That's why this is our Christmas special.
A couple of days before.
We will have another episode just before, which will be like our New Year's episode. So that's going to be another kind of fun one as well next week. Just reiterate that. I'm actually be drinking again as well, most probably.
2 episodes left.
Yeah.
So this one and that one. So that's it. These are the last 2 episodes.
Done forever.
Done for the. Next year is going to be interesting. We're going to try and I mean, it's like we could even technically, if we wanted to have a break, but it's like, it's, I don't know. Like, we'll do it. But we'll be back next year as well.
We've done it before and it felt weird.
We'll have some stuff next year, which is...
Could do an in-person podcast.
Well,
that's... You guys are actually in the same room.
We were talking about that last week. We were actually talking about, like, for next year, where, things for 2025 because we're looking at getting more guests involved in the potty and get some new guests.
Well, we got one for starting. Well, sometime next month.
Starters, yeah.
Well, as soon as the hot tub's ready at my place,
yeah,
I'd love to set up a laptop and then just have it stream.
Yeah.
An episode where I'm in the hot tub.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily do that. You can sit in the hot tub and we'll just just turn the camera
on. I'll hook up, I'll hook up the bath bomb and I'll set it to the highest setting and just drop it in there and we'll see what happens. set to toast and then drop. Yeah,
yep.
It's the classic bath bomb.
But no. So Christmas, I guess it's all been. I don't know how it's been for you guys. It's been pretty hectic for me. Like I kind of went a little bit carried away this year and just been like buying gifts. I just feel like it. Like I'm like fuck it. Like I've been kind of broke from it, but I'm like fuck it. Like I'm like I don't know. I just feel like it's been that reserved in the sense of Christmas that it hasn't felt so Christmassy, and I felt like I've wanted to be like that Santa again this year. And just kind of like I don't know, really try and treat people a bit more. So. It's been one of those, it's been one of those times. So, yeah, my wallet's definitely felt it a little bit more than I was expecting to. So,
I am working for Christmas. Well, not on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, but all the rest while everyone else has time off.
Until and after, like
even after New Year's, I only get New Year's Day off. So, but I will be drinking Christmas Day and Boxing Day.
I think you get New Year's Day off so that you can recover from New Year's Eve. So,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'll be working that day.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, they'll get the rest of the night. I need to go to the bowl shop and get some margaritas.
Even New Year's Eve lost its thing, hasn't it? Like, used to have the.
That's what I mean. Like everything just seems like that's what I mean. Because everything felt like
we got older.
Well, I've tried to decorate to get the energy going. Still, it kind of worked, but like if you go to a lot of for what I found anyway, a lot of shops around the area. They have like their set general Christmas decorations that they always put up every year.
And they play Mariah Carey.
Yeah, and a lot of the shopping centres though, a lot of the shopping centres this year have cut back on the Mariah Carey, cut back on the Bublé, barely any Christmas songs, barely any Christmas decorations. It's very weird walking in because usually they're just like, bam, everything's overdone.
Decorations around here and that's it.
And like it's just weird going because like it's the shops, like they always put that gimmick on, but like this year it's just been so like.
Yeah, just like a Kmart or something, just goes all out.
Yeah, it's just a little effort. Like the main shopping centers themselves, because the malls themselves like have decorations. They have.
I'm pretty sure EB would have fucking shit done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying though. That's the shops, but like the actual mall itself, like the mall, they have.
Yeah, because they usually like the massive stuff on the roofs.
Yeah. These have had barely anything at a lot of shops.
Remember they put stuff on the freaking power poles and the street lamps, and
even that's been gone. Very minimal. Like there's barely any of that. Like what's going on? Like it's very weird that no one's putting.
Well, it's just a thing. Like
yeah, like they're
there. Like people don't say, "Oh, look, it's gone." Oh, it's not there. And keep going.
That's what I mean. But like it's weird that they put the effort in and then they just kind of like don't.
But also, it depends who's in charge. I'm guessing, and
that's it. Like it's just very interesting, but
because they haven't been there for a long time.
So it's just interesting because I've always like noticed when I've been in areas and lived areas, brought by areas, and just seeing how they do stuff. And just like I said, going to the shop, like it always has that Christmas time. It has that atmosphere, so like it makes you feel like okay, I'm gonna spend, but then it's just like not really there, so then it doesn't feel like Christmas. It's just very weird. So maybe it's reverse psychology. Maybe they're trying to reverse psychologize everyone. Like, we won't put as many decorations out. People will feel like this is too depressing. We need to be more cheery, so we'll spend more money, like I have, and then because it's, trying to make up for the depression of Christmas. So, I don't know.
But then again, you wait till February and have the fucking Easter stuff out. Like
I know. It's just weird.
Well, just for Christmas. Like...
It's goddamn inflation, all right? That's why. People aren't spending money.
Goddamn inflation. True. Oh, it's the shopping centers to try and emphasize, to emphasize and feel pity for everyone. We won't be able to afford, we can't afford to put our every year decorations up because the economy's in inflation. So, I don't know. But I got to follow up here. I think I mentioned a couple episodes ago that I
Majub shaved his head. God dang.
But I'm in a group on Facebook. It's a Photoshop group. And I requested, I took a photo, I got a photo, and it's me wearing a Christmas hat. and it was a cowboy Christmas hat. And I asked the group to Photoshop me some images from my head for Christmas, so I could turn in cards, and I did.
Could be evil.
I got some card, and I got them to do some photos. These people did some photos. I said, go ham. I wanted to see what people's creativity was, and I ended up getting 3 images out of it that I liked, because some of them were just like, the effort was a bit miserable. But I made cards. So one of the Christmas cards is this is the picture.
Nice.
And I got some focusing. Is it a raccoon?
Yeah, some raccoons, and one's the Christmas hat, and there's me with my Christmas hat.
When is also, this is tangent. When is the Beardy Brothers calendar coming out?
Well, we have talked about that, so that's something that's going to have to.
Because it should have been done a month ago.
I know.
I'm waiting for mine to come in the mail. I just want that sexy little lay by the fire kind of pose.
I know. Naked. We're gonna work that out at some point, because there's a lot of things I want to look at doing, because I've mentioned this. That we do want to look at doing a box giveaway as well, possibly in the future, like a little loot crate where they can get a shirt and stuff, and a calendar would be nice to be chucked in there for that special winner as well. So when we do get around to that,
2026,
some hauls. So yeah, so I did say there'd be like a thing at the end of the year, which will be next year, if we get the traction for it. So. Which, yeah, calendar will definitely be a possibility, and maybe some guests may feature in that calendar as well. This is another one. It's the sexy Jeff Goldblum pose.
Nice.
So that was pretty funny. I like that.
Funny part is, your head does not match the rest of that.
No, it's very out of sequence, but
like it
still works.
Yeah, the portions, but I liked it. I thought that was funny, so I did that one.
Right.
And this is another one's proportions. And there's that one there. That one there. So,
nice.
Is that the Jack Black thing?
I can't
No, that's Miley Cyrus.
It's a Miley
Cyrus.
Yeah, knockoff. But it's literally a Fat Santa.
I know Jack Black did that as well.
But
at some point.
I specifically modified. So they actually have I got little quotes in them as well for, Christmas cards had their little Christmas Merry message. So the raccoon one says, "Wishing you a positively delightful holiday," because of the raccoons. So pause.
Positively.
I want to leave the best one for last. So the one on the swinging ball, the big swinging bubble, it has fuzzy socks and candy cane pops. Everyone knows that Christmas rocks. Kind of makes, feels like a rock and roll thing. But the Jeff Goldblum Jurassic Park, this is very more modified and niched. It's a whole thing. It's Christmas breaks free, Christmas expands to new territories, painfully perhaps even dangerously, but Christmas finds a way. So I specifically got the quote and I modified it to Christmas instead of life, and fittingly fits in there nicely. So that's
very nice.
A little fun I had with that. So I was like, some people are going to be getting these Christmas cards for Christmas, mainly the family and the in-laws, so they're going to get some me on that, so yeah.
You're definitely going to get the reaction to their faces.
Oh, it's going to be good, so...
It's hilarious.
Some spare ones there, because I printed some more, but I haven't made any more. But yeah, so... Office Works, good on Office Works, print out photos.
Office Works boxes, like, they got boxes for that.
They do. They have all kinds of stuff. So
I freaking love Office Works. They're probably the best. What's the word? Stationary plate? Like, it's weird. They got everything now.
A lot of that stuff. Yeah. It was tricky because I had to
office supplies.
What was the cable I was looking for?
HDMI? No.
Oh, was it?
Was it the audio jack? Was it?
Oh, which one was it now? It was a specific cable. It was for my Fuck! I've got a mind blank. Because it was a very specific cable. It's so stupid. Like there's nowhere else I could get it.
An RGB cable? What other cables are there?
I can't remember what it was now because I've used it. Like I got it. It was important, and I've used it, and I can't remember what I used it for.
A VGA cable?
Fuck. My brain.
A LAN cable? There's nothing. A display cable? Like, there's really nothing else.
I'm trying to think where I've done with it, where I've actually plugged into now. Where is it? Where is it plugged into? I know I've got it. I've used it. It's plugged in. Oh, that's right. It's so stupid. What am I thinking about? So I don't know why no one carried these anymore. It's very hard to come across, and most places only have one type of it. I just remember what it was now. So it's a fucking USB extension cable.
They might have them, I'm pretty sure.
Not many places, you'd be surprised, have a USB extension cable.
What?
Yeah. I like JB Hi-Fi, ended up having one. But I ended up just getting it from Officeworks. But it's like
JB Hi-Fi, Big W, J-Car.
If they actually have it in stock too.
Has them.
Like that's even if they, but even if they have it in stock. Because Officeworks literally only had the one type. The one type.
Yeah, because there's only one really put USB.
Luckily, well, I mean, you
USB
can get different
mainly now.
lengths and stuff like that. But yeah, because I bought a fan that I mounted because it has a hook mount, like a little screw slide mount. It's for the wall, but I mounted it upside down on this like the ceiling. There's like a ceiling spot, like a cupboard in the caravan. So I mounted it there so it hangs like it hooks nicely upside down. And the USB could reach long enough because it's only like a meter long cable that came on the fan. I'm like, what are you gonna do with a fan with a meter long cable? Like, you're not gonna restrict yourself by putting it just close to your point.
Right.
I was like, so I had to buy that to plug it in, and yeah, it was a 2 meter cable, two something meter cable, fucking long. But yeah, no, it was that. I was trying to think. I was like,
2 meter cable. Whew.
Yeah, the extension, USB extension.
Massive.
I used to have some somewhere, but all my cables are packed away. So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know if I'm gonna find this. So yeah.
Well, you would have found it eventually, but not when you needed it.
No, that's what gets me though. It's like it's also
as I found out, it's always quicker just to buy a new one than just look for it. Especially a cable's like what, 10, 15
Well,
bucks?
that's the thing though. Like I've never ever really had a need for a USB extension. Like I've had them. And I would just put them away because like things would come with them. It's like I don't need to extend it by an extra meter or 2 meters or
and then 0.5.
And it's like the one time I actually needed to extend a USB. I was like, fuck. So I bought it. Yeah. And now it's really long and it's just like a pain in the ass because I got like.
To be fair, we should be in the age now where you can just wirelessly plug something, plug it, work.
Well,
there's wireless charging. I know the theory behind it. Yeah.
Yeah,
wireless energy was thought up by Nikola Tesla.
Well, that's like this. Yep. I have this fan here,
because they technically they can. Phones could do this. Like phones can do it. It just costs a little bit more to make them, but like that self-charging phone.
Well, that's like this little fan I've got here.
Well, it's like watches that you don't have to. You occasionally have to spin, like turn, but watches can last ages. Just has like a little cog in there that just keeps it running,
right?
Because it uses momentum to do so. But the theory behind it is yes, there is items that you can. It's a big theory where basically trying perpetual motion machines, and the theory's out there, but everyone tries to say, oh yeah, it can be done, and people try and make machines that kind of do something along the concept of it. But perpetual motion machines, you need a lot you need to put a lot of energy in, but the outcome from those perpetual aren't enough to justify it. So it's not actual true perpetual motion machines that they can keep going, but it still requires initial energy to start it and to keep it going.
Yeah, there's some form of element behind it that keeps it going.
It's you can go for perpetual motion machines that run off magnets or just pure, gravity fed.
Well, there's solar powered ones. I'm like, what's the? Well,
you're still getting energy from the sun to do so. You're still using an outside source. Perpetual would be start it and then it would go on its own without any external force.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because magnets don't break. Like if no one's touching it, it should last forever. Technically,
Well, you can make things magnetized. It's easy enough to do. The theory behind it.
Because you got that one that someone made. It's just the ball just goes round. It just goes.
Well, it can keep going, but
it's just it just propels it forward. Like it's not really doing too much.
It only expels just a slight under amount of force that it actually required to create that movement.
Otherwise, it will overshoot.
Well, you're using a little bit of force to a little bit of force is generated, but you need more greater force to like a more powerful thing to start it in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, if you want to look into something like that, look into perpetual motion machines. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there. You can go into the rabbit hole of it. It's all a big conspiracy thing as well, saying why don't we have them? There's also the theory of free energy, which was first like fought up by Dr. Nikola Tesla. There's a whole bunch of conspiracy stuff out there as well, saying free energy has always been around. Science always have access to it, but they've just like kind of hidden it away because they want us to rely on, fuels and batteries and so on and so forth.
Which is why they don't want to use nuclear energy, because it cost us nothing.
Yes and no. Okay,
it's more dangerous, but then again, in the wrong
it is dangerous.
It can be dangerous.
But yeah, well, anything can be dangerous. But like, you do have to use a lot of energy to dispose of the radioactive material after the fact. So
it's a lot easier now than it was back then.
It's easier because they've found ways to be more efficient, but you're still dealing with radioactive waste that lasts for tens of thousands of years after the fact. So the thing that they're doing now to get rid of it is literally just get mines, dig them out, make them bigger and more efficient, and then just literally fill them up with radioactive material, fill it in with concrete, and leave it there for tens of thousands of years. Except if we kept on replaced everything with nuclear material after the fact, you would run out of space and room, therefore would find other ways of disposing of radioactive material. Sure, if we had Superman, he could just pick it all up and throw it into the sun. Kind of like in the original Superman where it was like, let's throw it into the sun, let's get rid of all your nuclear bombs.
What the UK is doing with the submarines is pretty good, using the nuclear energy to power the submarines.
Oh yeah, well that's more efficient, because if you're relying on diesel, which is what there is still diesel submarines out there, and there's your nuclear submarines. Like, it's not an old concept to use nuclear submarines. Like, ever since, like, for example, the Cold War, Russia was using nuclear submarines, and everyone else is using them now. Like Australia, I think we've still got a few diesel ones, but we're ordering nuclear submarines. We're converting to nuclear ones, but we still want some diesel ones there. Is because they can run a lot more silently than because nuclear submarines can run a lot more silently than diesel ones. Because if you're starting up a diesel engine, you're underwater. You can hear a diesel engine before more than a nuclear engine going off. But both have their ups and downs. Like,
it's just like a fucking truck starting up. The diesel is
it's loud,
obnoxious. Like, it really is.
But both have their risks. You're literally dealing with radioactive material. Like, sure,
if that sub blows up. Poof.
But in saying that, you could be like, well, we always deal with nuclear material because
there's enough. Your phone, really.
Not just your phone. There's enough background radiation in your everyday life that you have it.
Look at your power poles and your fucking phone lines.
And even back then,
lines,
like the 1950s and 40s, even before that, they treated radioactive material like it was nothing. Like, for example, the glow-in-the-dark watches, like that little glow that used to be back in the day. So there was a documentary, I can't remember the name of it, but it was about the girls that it was their job to the dials of watches, put that luminescent kind of dye that was on the watches, on all of them, and it was their job to do that. And that's the only job they had. But because to get the little brushes wet, they would put it up to their mouth, and then they'd get poisoning. And they'd get poisoning. And there's photos of it, and their entire faces are just rotten away. Like half their faces are rotten away because of it, because of their job. There's documentaries on it.
I've got a glow-in-the-dark one. It's just a friggin' strip of something.
But that was back in the day. It was actual radioactive material, and like I said, they would use they would put it into their mouth to get the brush wet, and then they would put it in the thing, and then they would put it on the dial.
Those glow-in-the-dark thing you put on your roof and shit. Wasn't they like a bit hazardous back in the day?
I don't know if it's that.
Or is that not
between that? But
too far up now?
But there is also a subculture, you could say, like a bunch of people that enjoy getting, like kitchenware, glow-in-the-dark kitchenware. the uranium ones.
Yeah.
And they have uranium, like, you know, radioactive material that you can go to your local, you know, op shop and find them there, find them at, you know, op shops and that. And you can still see them at all the shops there. They'll go on the dark, they'll have little price tags on them. There's a whole culture of people that love to collect them. Even though if you got a radiation detector, and put it next to it, you would see the dial going up and going, right. You are being infected. And there's people that are purposely going out buying them and they're putting them and eating food from them or whatever and keeping their fruit in it because it glows in the dark. I'm like, you are dealing with literal radioactive material.
Yeah, it's uranium, yeah.
Yeah. And you're purposely going out and trying to buy these things. Because it glows in the dark and it looks so pretty. I'm like, it looks pretty, but it can kill you.
Yeah, keep
like,
it in the
don't
antique
fuck
stores.
with radioactive material. Like, sure, you know, it's in some cases they've made light of it in the past, like, you know, like in comic books or whatever, well, like, you know, how we've got the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or anything, or what is that? That mutant, anything mutant. Where they just refer to it. Like the 1980s was great.
Early 90s. Because they were in a pool of it, like, fuck.
Yeah, the green ooze.
The green ooze. Or Toxic Avenger for one.
Green ooze,
Yeah, or Toxic Avenger.
Well,
that was a big one.
Well, and then all the toxic waste.
Uranium because it would have been bad.
But then it was like in like Captain Planet, it was always like the toxic waste that was always dumped, but it was green ooze. Like, it was uranium, like it's radiation, like.
Yeah. But yeah, nowadays they've found more efficient ways to deal with radioactive material. And yes, we can roll over to it and make that much more efficient, and it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, but also they lose a lot of money because it's cheaper.
Yes and no. Like, everything can be cheaper if you're like how the market will work. If you pump crap loads of LPG, like go out and get those factories pumping those LPG, the price of LPG goes down because there's abundance of it.
Yeah.
Therefore, it becomes cheaper in the long run. The more of it you have, and the more of it becomes cheaper, like anything else. Like phones would be worth thousands upon thousands of dollars, or even 10,000. Well, no,
good one, like.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, as in, if phones were tens of thousands of dollars. It's only because if there was only a finite amount. Because we've got such an abundance that we can smash them out at a factory, and they get the materials for it, and they smash it out lots of abundance of those materials, it makes that product a lot cheaper. So so we could go out like oil and gas. If they go out and start mining for more oil and gas, the price of oil and gas would, in theory, go down because of the market, because there's such abundance. Yeah. Therefore, it would be cheaper, which is the reason why we can have cheaper fuel prices in theory. And if we just keep going out and mining more, the problem is the more we go through it, the less of we have it in the long run. Therefore, they go out and try and find more of it somewhere. But yes, the alternative is nuclear power, but then also what's going to happen
eventually? Like it's
I would not, like, if anything, you don't put all your chickens in one one basket kind of thing. So you shouldn't rely on one resource as a power source. You should always still,
because what we're doing now is stupid, just burning fucking.
Well, yeah, but then we've got solar farms as well, which is a great,
a lot of it is
solar is the best.
Solar is good. The wind farms, problems with wind farms. Wind farms are great in theory, but they kill a lot of birds. A lot of birds.
That's a bird's fault, man.
Yeah.
You can't fucking spinning, like, fucking
100%. They're big and they spin and all that kind of stuff.
Have you seen the one in the UK recently? It was going so fast. And it just hit, it tore apart and like snapped. I'm like,
well, there's also the other things that we can always go to is wave farms is another idea of what's been wave farms. So, using the motions of the ocean, like anything, the motion in the ocean is always a good idea.
But also waves sometimes aren't there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. But like anything, it depends on the situation. So solar is great when it's in this right circumstances, in the right area, places to put it. You don't put it, obviously, in somewhere where it's like always raining or when it's like always cloudy.
You get sun from an overcast day. Like, you can get sun from a rainy day.
It's not efficient.
You need more of it in that. Like, you need more batteries.
Yeah, but if you put wind farms in a place where there's no wind, it's like anything else. But that's where
it's more disastrous because you get no wind, you got no power.
Yeah, exactly. So
you've always got sun during the day, like no
it's
matter
just
where
a
you
matter
are,
of
unless
being.
you're in maybe Europe, like where you've got mostly night. Some places there.
Oh yeah. But it's being more efficient.
Do you imagine the difficulties for Sanders would have to deal with trying to fly through there?
Yeah, but it's a magic. It's he uses a time dilation device, right? This is my theory. Because he does it all in one night. So the idea of time dilation.
9 million people in one night, like
exactly. So the theory is so if you know this concept of time dilation, it's like if you traveled away from Earth to another planet using like faster than light travel. It would only be like a year for you.
Yeah.
But on Earth, it would be like 30 years. So
speaking of that, I have a trope that I want to pick with because I watched that what's that Red Ones, that Christmas movie. And they contradict themselves so much. So they have moments where
oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. Yeah,
it's good. But they have the thing like they have the whole like elf agency. So theoretically, I assume he's more smaller than normal. But like The Rock, he is an elf agent, and he has like a Ant-Man style ability, so he can shrink down. I imagine that's most probably his normal size because he's an elf, and being large is maybe I don't know how but that's just my assumption to it. But when I watched it, like he could shrink down to small and do all this shit. But like, there's all this tech and abilities and magic to do stuff. But when it came to the sequence of delivering presents, Santa ran around roof to roof and riding sleighs in normal speed.
Yeah.
So there's all this magic and time stuff and all this stuff. But when you think, okay, there's this whole
I'm pretty sure he can freeze time.
But he didn't.
Unfreeze it.
He didn't though. He's going rooftop to rooftop in normal time, climbing in. Kids come down and you know,
that's
like
the concept of
Tim Allen. Santa Claus did the same
thing.
Yeah,
so did Tim Allen.
That's what I mean.
Like I said, the time dilation. He could create a time dilation bubble. It would be hours for him or days where he can make it, but minutes for everyone else, and that's the time dilation bubble. Like if they do it in the concept of Stargate, they talk about time dilation, or even there's other like movies.
I think Stargate does that the best out of anyone. They're like,
they dumb it down, which is fantastic. Stargate classic. I wish there was more. But it's that's how Santa would work if it was this. But also if it's magic, it's kind of like saying a wizard did it. Remember in Simpsons where it's like a wizard did it. That's pretty much it. Santa is like he's like a wizard. Really? Santa's like a wizard. He just waves his wand and he can deliver all those presents. He'll make time slow down for everyone else, and he'll be like, "All right, I need like a few days."
Technically, he doesn't go into the houses. He just flies above, dropping presents down. Like,
but that's what I mean. But I guess if that's the sense, there must be like a bubble radius. Then I guess if that's the effect, then because they didn't really explain it. They just it kind of just goes on, and
it would be a bubble around him. It would be a bubble around him and the president.
But everyone else moves normally. Like
everyone else.
Well, that's what I mean. Was funny because it's like scenes where he like jumps in the chimney and kids come down like typical. It's like, oh, Santa, and he like does this little thing and runs off again. Like
but that's when the time doesn't.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, you can turn it on and off. Like there's no delay. But if you go into the bubble, you're going his version, which is like one-on-one.
In the same sense of it, with that being so, with everything taking place in this movie, it still kind of makes the fact on itself that it only convolutes that America only exists in these universes. Nothing else exists. Because
I think that's how most movies are, like really.
Yeah,
well, that's American movies. If you watch overseas movies of Korea or China or whatever else, they do the exact same thing.
Yeah, because it is kind of funny because it's
referring to the demographic that it mainly points to. But everyone's so Americanized, that's why.
Because realistically, I mean, with the situation that's going on in that movie, like for us especially because we're ahead, we wouldn't have had Christmas because what's going on in the duration of time in the movie, he gets kidnapped. Like that's the premise, he gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
It's like he clearly would not have had time to like visit our side of the country while he's kidnapped.
Like
to deliver
Asian,
because like it's like,
region, like
he gets kidnapped and they save him just in time for Christmas, but it's American Christmas. So does that mean like Australia and New Zealand and like Asia areas just missed out on Christmas?
They missed out. Yeah, like, they all missed out.
Like it's like fuck. Like
it's. Why do you think Christmas isn't as big in just being kidnapped again? Yeah.
We just Santa got kidnapped. There's a whole market.
Yeah, Santa got kidnapped again. He's just like, oh fuck, I just missed out. I forgot to set the time, date. It's all good. But he's magic as well. If he's magic as well, he could just turn back time. That's the same thing. If you have the time dilation, if you have the technology that like do a time dilation or freeze time or whatever else, you have the power to kind of like turn back time. So in theory, you could, if you did
so
that,
far, right, like a certain period, otherwise it'll fuck things up.
Yeah, exactly. So the good thing about that is you can take all the time in the world and then just be like, okay, I'm going to decide to deliver presents, and you'll just like use magic to turn it to Christmas, deliver all in one night, or even do before. And then just make all those presents.
It's funny how Christmas in 2 nights. Like you got our part of the world, then their part of the world. It's in 2 different fucking nights.
But
time zones, yeah.
I will say though, it is a good movie. Like I would say, it is a decent Christmas movie. Same as Dear Santa. That was a good Christmas movie as well with Jack Black. That was pretty fun as well. It was good to see.
I watched a pretty good Christmas one the other night. I'll show it later because I got it there. But
there's another movie now that's going to be technically just as controversial as Die Hard. Is it a Christmas movie if it's not a Christmas movie? I can't remember the name of it.
Die Hard is though.
But I can't remember the name of the movie. Yeah. But it literally, it came up on Netflix. It's a new movie where it's like, it's got that, I can't remember his name. It's got the actor who played Elton John in that biopic film. He's got that weird name.
Edgington?
No. Edgington, something, yeah, whatever it is. He's got that weird name. But he's in this new like thriller movie where
Aaron Edgerton.
I think that's what it is. But he's in a new movie that's a it's a thriller, but it's like there's a bad guy who's a hostage and he's like there's a parcel or something. I haven't watched it yet.
He's the he works at the airport.
Yeah.
Parcel goes through. Yeah.
That so on Netflix that comes up in the Christmas movie category. It literally they've got it as a Christmas movie. So yeah, I'm like.
Okay. The probably possible reason why it's because it is out during Christmas time, and it's set during Christmas. You'd want to watch in the song. It doesn't have to be themed Christmas. It's just that's the thing. Like period.
In what's happening during that movie as well is set around the Christmas holiday period in the movie.
Oh, okay, so it is a Christmas movie.
So it's Die Hard all over again. Like it's where people dispute Die Hard. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Like, it's 100% a Christmas movie. So many people want to dispute it. But now we've got a new movie that's joining that ranks, basically, as being a new Christmas. I'm like, it's another Die Hard,
As long as it's set around Christmas, it's a Christmas movie.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I said to a lot of people. Like, if it's set around Easter, it's an Easter movie. If it's set around Halloween, it could be anything. If it's set around Halloween, it's a Halloween movie. Like, if it's based in those seasons, and that's
Halloween's a bit more isn't because Halloween, like...
No, but if it's Halloween the season though, it's a Halloween movie though.
No, if it is Halloween season, it's a Halloween movie. Like if you've got a TV show and it's set at Halloween time, it's a Halloween episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Same concept.
It's the same thing because you can't refute the other without the other. You know what I mean? Like you can't say.
Oh yeah. One is one isn't. No, 100%. I get it.
Like if it's just like if the movie takes place and there's like one. Like 10-minute, like it's like a time lapse thing, and then there's 10 minutes, and it happens to have Halloween in it. It's not a Halloween movie. Like, because then, that's the same thing with them saying, like, later on in the movie, they could pop up 10 minutes of Christmas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, that's just a movie then. But, like, if the whole thing's set around Halloween, then, yeah. Or if it's set around Easter, or if it's set around Christmas, or if it's set around, like, for America, like Thanksgiving.
Is literally Christmas fucking Eve or something.
Yeah, like, the whole thing is Christmas Eve. Like, it's a Christmas movie. Like, it's Christmas Eve, then it goes, like, he's get it done, and it clocks over to midnight, which is then Christmas Day. Like, it's... And both movies have done it. 1 and 2 are both done that. Like, it's Christmas Eve, and it rolls over to Christmas Day. Like, it's a Christmas... They're both Christmas movies. Like,
the second one's Christmas as well?
Yeah. Takes around the same time. In the following year. Like, it's set as the following year or something like that, but the same thing happens. It's at the airport, but it's Christmas. Yeah. Christmas holidays. Yeah, it's like every Christmas. And then there was only the third one that ended up being not around Christmas time.
There is no Christmas stuff into though, like really.
No, not really. Oh, kind of, but it's set at Christmas time.
Yeah, but they don't mention it at all.
I think it's like again, it's like Christmas Eve, and it's just
All you've got is like Samuel Jackson and.
No, that's the third one.
Doing the third one.
That's the third one. Second one's the airport. Third one's the boat. First one's the tower. Second one's the airport. Third one's the boat.
Oh, so with the Avengers is the third. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Second one. I can't remember the second one at all.
The whole airport. It's the whole airport. And it's like the whole outer house and the airport land. They're gonna save the.
I'm drawing a fucking blank on the second one. Die Hard 2. Oh, with that dude. Yeah.
Because snowy season, Christmas time, everyone's like holidays and stuff. Everyone's trying to get back for Christmas or something like that.
One that no one talks about.
No,
it's always 1 and 3.
Yeah, but 2's actually one of my. I think I kind of prefer the second one over a lot of them.
I think I prefer the third over all of them. Like the third one, just with Samuel Jackson, just.
It's good, but yeah, everyone has their own preference.
And Jeremy Irons, you can't go past Jeremy Irons.
But like, there aren't many movies that have good enough trilogies where you kind of people compete against which one's their favorite. You know what I mean? Like you've got like a lot of like trilogies.
Like Die Hard
stuff,
1
but, like,
is a little boring when you think about it. Like it's just for half the movie there's nothing, and then the end of it.
It's the climax, like the halfway point and towards the end. But no, two's
the third one from the start to the end. It's just all just.
But. I don't
know
if you've watched it, but they did the like the series, the Santa Claus series, and they've been dropping that for like the last 2 years. I guess they've done like the series. They did like 2 seasons. I think it was 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And they kind of went on a weird hiatus, and then they're apparently coming back with another season, possibly next year. It's like that's all the gear up. Like very weird. It's like if you're gonna end it, just end it. Like why have a big gap and then come back to another one the following Christmas? Once that kind of like very spaced out, like I feel like the hype is gone from it. It just feels, it's just a bit weird.
Right.
Like, I don't know, it's just strange to milk things a little bit too.
Now that I think about it, Jeremy Irons is the ultimate bad guy. Like he plays the ultimate bad guy.
Yeah.
Scar.
It's good.
Fucking Simon.
The original bad guy, basically.
Right.
Yeah, he's the original bad guy. Like, still is.
Yeah, not many people have done.
I mean, Batman he played the butler, but Alfred, which he was good in that too.
Specific, yeah. But no, he plays a good bad guy. Like Christmas.
Well, it's his theatrics, like. I say because he's English, which is also true.
Yeah. But no, I think, I think we all. I think we can all attest that Die Hard is definitely one of the best Christmas movies.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I am tempted to watch it after this podcast.
Yeah, go watch Die Hard. Yeah, Home Alone's good.
Yeah, I think I'll watch Die Hard after.
Trying to defend.
Yeah, they're all Christmas movies. Like specifically, every Home Alone is Christmas.
Are you saying we should go off and fight terrorists and criminals for Christmas time?
John McClane does, like exactly one to one.
Yeah, but he doesn't kill them though.
No, but in theory, they would die.
Like he's trapped in a building, they're trapped in the house. They try to break in and do bad things, and he's.
So technically, Kevin will go to jail where he wouldn't, where John McClane wouldn't.
Because he's a cop.
It'd be nice to see the reverse, like the burglars. One of them when they break in, one of them gets killed, and they report it to the cops. So Kevin goes to jail, and when he finally gets out, the criminal takes revenge on the kid.
In a real world, he would
killing his friend. Yeah.
Or at least 25 years.
Oh yeah, it's 25 years. That's what I mean. I'd like to see a sequel where Kevin actually went. He goes to jail, and then one of the criminals is like, goes after him.
I would just love to see like an older version of Home Alone where it's he's back, like Kevin McAllister's back. He's older, and like so whatever situation.
Did they do that?
No, they didn't.
They did like
a short or something.
Like
short. They did a short.
No, but like properly do it properly. None of this like random because they kind of like spit take the whole thing. But like have a proper story. But like whatever reason he's like because it like he is kind of like a MacGyver moment. So, like, because he came up with all these things, it was like a very MacGyver thing. So, like, do something where, I don't know, he's like pulled in somewhere, or he's like a secret agent. I don't know, just do something really cool with it. I feel like it'd be kind of cool just to see him. And just have the whole trap setup thing again. You know, like, because he's learnt that, he got into, like, the side of, like, military, and he's, like, retired or something like that. But he's still got the skills because he's, like, you know, MacGyver style. And it's just, like, you know, it doesn't have to be, like, brutally dark. It just be, like, I don't know, people trying to break into shit again. And he just
hurting and maiming people is pretty dark.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, brutal, like, killing people. Like, you know, you don't see anything, people dying, or, like, just get messed up like they do in Home Alone.
I was saying, like,
all those things, they should have killed them.
What John McClane did was necessary. What Kevin did was just pure fucking brutality.
Yeah. Like, but I said, a lot of the things that happened, those guys should have died. They didn't. Like, they had bricks dropped on them, and
like
they were confined.
Like, the fucking iron, like...
Yeah.
Electrocution. The electrocution. Like a Die Hard / Home Alone movie, like, merged together and make a movie like that, where it's not a kid, it's just like some guy that's, you know, MacGyverish, like, who's just, you know, terrorists have taken over his apartment building, so he decides to do the Home Alone, and he just ends up killing him and making all these traps. And just, he doesn't maim them like comically, he literally kills them one by one. Or even better, make it into a horror, so it is like Home Alone, but horror, like they did with, like, Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse. But you make it a horror, but you make it a Christmas horror one, where it's like all these traps are set up, but it's literally killing and maiming people. But it's like a horror film where people kind of go, "What the hell is happening? Why is our house all being trapped?" So,
I would also watch it.
It'd just be like, don't, was it Don't Breathe, or whatever it is? But like,
Kind
of like kids are trying to sneak into this old man's house for Christmas, thinking, oh, yeah, and then they try to sneak in.
Have you seen the Don't Breathe movies?
I haven't.
Fucking good.
But I have heard. I've seen some scenes, but I haven't watched them. But yeah.
They are like, I forgot, like, Stephen Lang's a fucking legend.
He is a good actor as well. He's another
that dude can... Well, that's why I was sad, because remember that Nathan Fillion Uncharted fan made thing? They had Stephen Lang as Sully. Like, he's the perfect Sully.
Actually,
so good.
Talk about Nathan Fillion.
So good.
Have you guys seen the Superman trailer?
I have.
It looks good.
I like it because it's Nathan Fillion playing Guy Garner, which is, that guy's an absolute dick. In the comics.
That bowl cut though.
That bowl cut, Nathan Fillion. Yeah, he'll be fantastic doing it, playing a dick.
Like, he is a cocky, sarcastic.
Oh yeah. He'll play it very well.
Look at Castle.
Same thing. Yeah. Castle, the Rookie, which I know the people love the Rookie because it's just a nice continuation of him.
But his character looks so happy. It's so great. Like.
Oh yeah, I was like, is that Nathan?
It's just so funny, that bowl cut. He looks so like. But he looks like he's like in the 80s, so he's got like 80s stuff.
It kind of suits him. Yeah. Well, this is going back to the very classic type Superman. So that's why the Crypto's in it, because Crypto in the comics, Crypto was in the comics, but then he got taken out.
I thought he had a horse. I'm like, that's fucking no, it's too small for a horse.
No.
He's always had the dog. Like in the thing, he's always had the dog.
He had the dog a long time ago, and then I forgot which stage when Crypto was taken out, because they tried to make him like he was the only Crypto.
No, didn't have Crypto at all.
And then they brought Crypto back, and now Crypto is, you know.
It's more, it's more to the source material. Like, it's gone.
Well,
imagine seeing a dog just cut Superman off in the distance. Like,
well, the fact that we actually saw. No, well, this is the first thing too. Like, we're actually seeing realistically one of the first times, like, Superman fucked up by clearly kryptonite, like properly fucked up by kryptonite.
He's nearly dead just there.
Like that's what I mean. Like we've never really seen Superman in that state. Like we've seen him like
poisoned, but not like that. So you don't know it's kryptonite. Here's the thing: in the trailer, you don't know it's kryptonite. That messes them up. The reason why is because they're trying to make this Superman more of a classic, not classic. So classic Superman, like, he was invincible. He was like literally, you know. But now they're trying to make him back to a more human-like Superman, where he can be injured. So if he'll, you know, like in the last Superman movies where he took a punch and he'll just stand there and take it. Like,
well, he still
in this Superman.
That thing explode all the big metal pipes, and nothing did nothing to him. But
yeah. But that's just metal pipes. If he takes on super people, then that's a different story. But in this Superman, they're trying to make him more vulnerable, more like not the ultimate. He can't be killed, can't be injured.
Yeah, well, that's
he's still superior. He's still he can die. He gets injured, even though if you go along the Death Superman arc, where basically he dies, but he doesn't die because all they did was just expendiate, use up all his internal energy. So he's Superman's kind of like a solar battery.
That's why he charges the sun all the time, yeah.
That's why the sun charges his body, because it's the radiation from the sun, and it charges his body, and that gives him power. So the more sun, better, more powerful it gets. Which is like, for example, the death of Superman, he used up all his energy, and that's why it seemed like he died, but he went more of like in a comatose state, and he just needed time to, recharge his battery.
Zack Snyder's one as well. Yeah. He got fucked up.
But he got messed up. Still as the ultimate being though.
And then it's just so weird how out of every villain, every other hero, it's Batman who takes him out.
Well, it's always been the way though.
Well, Batman uses science and uses logic and
because Batman's smart as shit.
So is Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is technically in the DC universe one of the smartest human beings ever.
Well, yeah, but he still can't get Superman though. So.
Well, the reason why he can't get Superman because the power of Superman, like Lex Luthor, just has to figure out a way.
But he's can't do it himself.
He's like
other things to do it.
He has to create technology to do it. Yeah. But that's his only drawback. If he had the power of Superman,
it is cool having
Hulk
be Lex. He looks a good Lex.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, interesting take with him because he's
this is why I'm keen. James Gunn is going to do Superman better than fucking Snyder did.
Well, that's the thing. It's fantastic. I still wait and see. It looks fantastic, but everything always looks fantastic.
Well, that's the thing.
And then so did the Flash. The Flash looked fantastic. It had so many. It looked great. The trailers looked great because it was holy crap! It had the original, the Batman in it and all this other stuff. But
the thing is Snyder went very traditional superhero. He was just superhero. You think of superhero, everything he had was very superhero. Where James Gunn is going, he's going comic book, where things had more narrative, more story and depth, and make you feel relatable. Even though he's a superhero, you still felt relatable to him. And that's what they're going with. You're gonna make us okay, he's a superpower being
to a point.
Human. He'll still be, and that's where they're going with. They're still making him relatable. He's got a companion that's looking out for him, with Crypto.
No offense, Man of Steel was the best Superman movie. Zack Snyder Superman. That's still the best one.
It's a good movie, But see, that's more of a very epic, where that's why I like the idea of Gunn. Gunn's making epics, but not as epic. He's making it more reserved and more.
Well, he'll go big eventually with it. He'll go all out, fucking balls to the wall, with Guardians.
He'll get up to that because you just can't put all your good shit in the first movie because they'll make the next one.
That's where Zack Snyder went big for Man of Steel, and then it kind of didn't live
that's
up
why,
to
you have to escalate it.
Well, that's why I'm very still a little bit with that because with the trailer, you kind of did see a lot going on because we saw
but we still know nothing. It's
well, we kind of saw in sense the Super Friends because we saw the Green Lanterns, we saw a few of the other characters. We see Crypto,
Hawk Lady,
you said Hawkeye,
Hawk Lady,
Hawk Girl. There's a lot going on, and that's
I think the trailer didn't show the best. How trailers always try and show
I just hope there's not too much going on. That's all I kind of concerned about.
It's James Gunn. It's going to be like Guardians. It's going to be evenly. Spaced.
It's the trailer for me. The trailer didn't show the best scenes.
Because I don't want to I don't want it to. Because
it's going to be when the movie's out. Then people will be like, "Holy shit, you have to see the movie!" Because you won't see those best parts in the trailer.
No,
and you should never put the best parts in the trailers because it ruins the movie.
But
your expectation is too high.
No. That's why I'm not worried. The thing is, what's got me is it's the trailer they dropped was a very, very list ticking thing. It's here's this character, here's this character, this character, this character. I don't care about the characters. Like, I don't
we
care.
We already knew they were going to be in.
Yeah.
But like, I don't playing who.
I don't care about having a movie with a bazillion characters in it. Like, I would happily just have a movie with just Superman. That's it. You know, no other characters. You know what I mean? No, like you don't need
other characters. Then you need them.
You need.
Superman is boring.
The Superman that's coming out. It's the Superman that's coming out is the Superman where they're not just doing like an origin story.
Yeah,
like
he's been around.
There's other superheroes. In this Superman that's coming out, there's other superheroes have been out and they've been out for a while. That's why you have to show those other characters that in that world. He's not the only superhero. You can't. I know it's a Superman movie, but you just can't have Superman in a Superman movie.
No, you can't.
All the time, especially in a world full of other superheroes. Because you need it to.
You can't just have Batman and Joker. You need more.
One of the reasons why, marketing-wise, you can't have one Superman as just Superman, and you got to have other superheroes. It's because one, it's expected, and two, you can always use those characters spin-offs to make other movies.
Yeah. Well, they're doing spin-offs, which makes sense.
Did you also realize that everyone's young because he's planned for the future?
Yeah, because
did that.
Reason why is because Gunn is trying to create a whole new universe. He's not just doing Superman and then see how it goes. When you're trying to create a whole new universe, you have to have other characters. Exactly. Everything's been wiped, so he's doing it from scratch. He has to create his own universe, and this is the best way to explain. He just can't come out with the best all the time because if you do it at the start, and especially in the trailer, the expectation is too high, and that means when you do finally see the movie, you're just seeing the offcuts. You're not seeing the best.
I want your take on this. Do you like? Are you in the camp of he used Cornsweet for your name is to play Superman, like because he looks like a young Henry Cavill,
David
Henry Cavill back later as an older.
I don't know. It seems
definitely doing that. Because he looks definitely Henry Cavill, like more than Henry Cavill.
Well, I like the fact in the Superman trailer you can see you can't see the similarities between Clark Kent and Superman because you see Superman, his hair is slicked back. Whilst the Clark Kent is all curly, fluffy. So and it's got the glasses. It's not just you're not just relying on it's just glasses and that's the difference between Superman and Clark Kent. It's actually you look at the both and go, they're not the same person. Yeah, it makes sense. And that's he's taken a lot from the comics and worked on those things where it's kind of like, wouldn't this make, this is logical if you have them look exactly the same.
Suit looks fucking nice, man. Like that suit looks good.
The S on the suit is going back to the very classic suit, which is when Crypto was all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like and with Superman's outfit always been something that's like not alien created. It's all the only thing alien on there is the S.
The Snyder suit was I did not like. It was too shiny. It was weird.
I still appreciate all the Superman movies. I'm going to watch it for what it is, and I'm not going to take the trailer and go, that's the best of the best.
Yeah,
it's because with James Gunn,
we've still got a long time until we get to see that.
James Gunn likes to think a lot further in the future, especially
he's
with Guardians.
He's already
he already had Gunn. He already knew where it was going to start and where it was going to end, and he knew where it was all.
Well, this is coming out quicker than what we thought, though, because he only just started working on this.
Well, not really, because remember with
he had stuff before, but
he's had stuff before. Because remember, there was the Peacemaker. Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. So everything's been wiped except Peacemaker. Peacemaker
exists in the
new series, which is good. I don't know how they're going to explain other aspects of it, like the the ending of the series.
Probably be mentioned in there now in season 2. Maybe show up. Maybe like just as a quick hey, and gone. But
we'll see what happens. See how Gunn's doing it.
Because they've got a lot, like I said, they've got a lot of characters on it. Because you've got, of course, Superman.
I kind of want Creature Commandos because that set up what happened now. Like from Superman is the second part to that. Because the cool thing is James Gunn said that those Creature Commandos can be live action as well.
So it was the Creature Commandos was the Creature Commandos was the official premiere of his new DCU. And then that was
I don't want to say it, but we have Max here? I don't think we'd have Max.
It comes out on.
It's something else.
They put them up on. Is it Binge?
Yeah,
I think it's on Binge. Yeah, it's been out for a while.
But yeah, I know it's gonna be interesting because, like I said,
apparently it's fucking good. Like it's good
because it has, like I said, this movie's gonna have a lot of characters.
So I hope that Superman is good.
Well, like I said,
and it'll fucking have to be.
You've got, of course, Superman, Lois Lane, which makes sense, and you've got Jimmy Olsen, which makes sense.
Those aren't counted.
So you've got like the typical there. You've got like other extras in here, but like you've got other characters. So you've got yeah, you got movies. So you've actually got
like the TV show. That's nothing now.
No. But like movie. So you've got Superman, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen. So they're set characters. Yeah. They're your 3 defaults.
Yeah.
You've got Kara Zor-El that appears in it. You've got Lex Luthor. You've got Hawkgirl. You've got Guy Gardner. Then you've got both Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent. You've got Rick Flag Sr. You've got Metamorpho. You've got Mr. Terrific. And then there's like other characters like Perry White, Steve Lombard. Yeah. Maxwell Lord. There's a TV reporter. Then there's Cat Grant.
There's another
That's how they can connect Peacemaker with that as well. With Rick Flag.
Because Rick Flag Sr. played by Frank Grillo. Frank
Grillo is... Oh!
Yeah, he's Rick Flag Sr.
What a fucking pick that is.
We got Metamorphose played by Anthony Carrigan. You got Maxwell Lord played by Sean Gunn.
Yeah.
Pruitt Taylor Vince is playing Jonathan Kent. Neva Howell is playing Martha Kent. Alan Tudyk's in it somewhere.
So you will, but his casting is near perfect.
Like, it's good casting, but like, that's the thing. Like, hopefully it's just that, and there isn't other characters that may pop, because like that's you're pushing to a point where I feel like there's a lot going on, and I don't want a movie that's gonna have too much going on. Yeah. Like, I don't want to watch a movie.
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
Like, I don't want to go into a movie and there's like 3 story arcs that are already happening because it's like a
Beardy already did that with like 5, 6, so he's fine with that.
But like it gets annoying when there's too many things going. Like, I hate, like, if I'm going, like, it's Superman's arc. That's all I want to deal with. I don't want them trying to set up Lex Luthor's story arc that he's got going on. I don't want fucking Green Lantern's story arc coming in. Like, I don't want all that shit. Like,
as important as Superman.
Yeah, but I don't want his story arc happening where they're trying to set up or continue on a story that I need to watch.
You have to, because he is.
No, but I don't want to. I don't want to be going through another.
He can't be Lex by himself.
No, what I'm saying is I don't want to go through another Marvel where it's like if I want to watch this movie, I need to go back watch another movie here, and then this movie here, and then these 3 movies, and then this thing. Like
movie.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You can't. Then if you have too much going on in the one movie, it's like you're giving too much.
But he's not.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping they don't do though. We don't know yet, and that's what I'm hoping.
This is pretty much just him and
Lex. You just don't want oversaturation of.
But I'm saying, you're saying okay, it's Superman and Lex going at each other. Then why do we have Green Lantern? Why do we have Hawkgirl? Why do we have Metamorpho? Why do we have fucking all these other characters?
Because
like there's so much going on.
So they got to have a massive fucking battle.
But like that's what I'm saying though. Then that's setting up something that's having something. Then that means we've got to go back and watch something else when that eventually comes out. That's going to tie into this or like continue. Like
well, that's
given. Yeah, that's a given. Because you have to watch Creature remember, he's establishing a universe. You have to have all these. You have to have these characters in there, not just Superman, because he's establishing a universe. So Superman is in that universe.
This is his whole like TV shows and movies. Like
I know it's just like I just want to get another Marvel.
It's like you have to. They
specify. I understand your worry is that saturate in the movie by having all these characters in there. But if he does it right, you'll just be like, all right, cool, that's Hawkgirl.
That's what I mean.
It might be like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and that's it. Come and gone.
Yes, I just don't want it to like that gets too carried away and they haven't trying to because that's what annoyed me with the last Indiana Jones is you have like the last Indiana Jones was like
Indiana Jones.
No.
Like he had more characters in Guardian, so he's like I think he can write a Superman fucking movie. Like
yeah. So like you've seen his track record. He's done Guardians and the way he handled that. He's going to handle it the same way. He has complete control over it. Unlike the last time, he had control over it, but still,
just because, but you know, you're gonna have to be wary. Because just because things have been good, doesn't guarantee that this is going to be. You know,
I understand that. Don't take it for granted.
Because there's been some directors that have done, and producers that have done things that have been great. The whole time had this great name behind them, and then produced something and it's been complete horseshit and completely opposite.
His DC run has been pretty fucking perfect.
Yeah, but in those cases as well, we've known like in some cases, it's always been like outside influence that's fucked it up,
which
especially
is
for the
Disney
director.
and Marvel.
Yeah, when you're dealing with like Disney and Marvel,
every fucking where.
That's why I'm just very like I'm just
Star Wars as well. Star Wars was like
that's a fucking Disneyfied like,
and it makes it worse when you have more than just one person probably in the background that's screwing up the whole fan
just
fiction.
James Gunn, like
exactly. It's just him and
Saffron just doing their thing.
And that's why I just hope. That's why I just hope that there's not too much like. That's why I just want to enjoy a movie that's not going to have too many different things going on because that's when it just gets too carried away. They just throw too many different.
I understand that you kind of want it, to be, let's say, Iron Man, where it was just the beginning. It was just Iron Man, and then they slowly introduced it to. But I think the reason why they probably have to want the other characters in there because it's either beneficial to the story, most likely, hopefully. But if they are trying to shoehorn so much shit in, it's probably only because they're trying to establish so much in one go. And that may be a factor to the movie, and we'll wait and see when it does come out.
Exactly.
And some movies do suffer because of it when they're trying to shoehorn in so much.
Either
get fan. Yeah, no, I understand. It's either trying to do it for fan fiction or they're just trying to, like, for example, with The Flash, they shoehorned in so much that seemed a little bit convoluted. To the fact that it just seemed too much.
Putting too much. It was just unnecessary.
That's what I mean. Like some things should just be unnecessary. Like
they didn't need Batman. They didn't need any. They just needed the Flash and something else.
They just did that because they clearly did that being going. We know this is going to be shit. The person bad. We need to get like Keaton or something in to be like, let's bring a character
was
back.
An afterthought. Like he was in there for, like I get the Ben Affleck one was made for that, but the.
Keaton was done just to get the name, just to get the clicks. You know what I mean?
It was a massive fan fiction right there. Like,
fan service.
Yeah.
The Flash cannot have his own movie. It just doesn't work.
That's what I mean. Like it's stuff
but
like that.
We know with the track record of Gunn, hopefully, it is just for the sake of developing a universe, and it's going to happen on the first try when you're trying to create a universe from scratch.
I'm pretty sure those other characters going to be in other media, like shows.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're probably going to be
through the whole next 10, 20 years.
He's going to have, offshoots, and it's guaranteed. But it is what it is. Like
I'm fine if they pop up and do a little thing, and then they're not really like pushing an agenda, like because it's trying to be like say, trying to set their ground foot to carry on for the next movie that they may appear in or something. Like just like have them casually just be there. Not really like to do the thing, but like what I mean. Don't bring in any extra arcs that we don't need yet.
I think we already know the next movie anyway, so I'm pretty sure.
But it just gets too much. Like, it's just too many agendas.
They put William Reeve in there as the TV presenter. That's fucking cool. TV reporter, yeah. Like that's fucking cool.
I have enjoyed behind the scenes because it was if I saw it on TikTok. I don't know if they posted it anywhere else. But it was one of the guys who's behind the scenes. He's like filming himself, and he's like, "Oh, can you guys just keep an eye on and watch Superman while I go do something?" And he puts the camera down in front of it. What's his core suite? And he's just like, so "Who?" He's like, "Who?" Because he's playing he's dressed as Clark Kent, and I like that because he's just like they're just having fun of it, like outside of the behind the scenes, just like fun promotion stuff or whatever. And he's just the whole time he's just like, "Who are you talking about?" Like, huh? Like. And I like that breaking the fourth wall or whatever, just to keep it in character, like in different media. Like he's not just, separating it from production. Like it's fun to stay in character outside of production and keep that emotion flowing to help promote, in different little fun little ways, which is good to see.
Right.
But I thought that was funny. Like he just stayed in character so well. But like I said beforehand, like.
I hope he changes Batman to something new as well. He's doing an older Batman, which is nice.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they.
He could easily bring back fucking Ben Affleck again. He has that brave and the bold about him. Like that,
but I think at the same time, I think he is trying to step away from that, so there's no similarities. So he's trying to move away.
Yeah.
People
he's perfectly made for that. That's the sucky part.
But because there was talks about doing like the future Batman at some point, and they might end up going that route. So having an older Batman that we set him up, then it leads to him retiring at some point, and then you get a new younger Batman take over the role. You get
like a Robin or a Jason Todd or someone like just to.
So he's just trying. He's realizing like be a bit more in the universe further than not Origins all the time because it does get a bit.
Well, he said he's not doing an origin story, so that's nice. Like this Batman movie's like there's no origin about it. It's just he's already been doing this for a while.
Having Craven like being Marvel and Sony Marvel, but like just being like the way that like there was no need to have an origin story. Like it was like they could have just had a character.
I mean, there was
already
but
established.
Also better than how they did it.
But I was saying if it's a one and done movie because Sony knew that their series is ending, why do origin movies? Like this was like origin of origins. Like this was like year one Craven.
It's because they actually said that just after as that came out. It was like, oh, we're done now.
But it's like they already knew.
Out of nowhere.
But it's just like they know when they're doing this stuff. Like they know in advance. Like they know well and truly in advance. Like they would have known when they shelved delayed Craven they were done. Like, that's the thing. They wouldn't.
Yeah, but they couldn't say they're done because then people wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, but it's just funny though. Like that they went like year one with Craven. It's just like, whoa, okay. Like it's just weird when movies go with characters and they do a year one origin. It's just like we already kind of know. Like why can't you just be more established and just have it in the middle of them already, being who they are. I mean, it's just with a lot of movies, it's just weird. It just gets weird.
So is all the DC stuff on binge? Like all the
because they get the HBO stuff. Yeah.
So it is worth getting binge for that then, like just that alone, like.
Yeah. Money up because I had credit trying to come out.
$10 a month is cheap for binge.
I said no. Fucking phone credit try to come out. I got my internet coming out in a few days too.
Yeah. Because I might think about getting binge because I want the DC stuff.
Yeah, well, it's not bad.
I can just do the free trial and see what it is first, but see if I like it or not.
There's a lot of.
I watch Creature Commandos.
Well, there's a lot of it's binge. You're gonna have a lot of shows you can watch on binge as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but because I do want to see that Creature. Apparently, it's fucking good. So
yeah, I've heard some good things about it.
It'll come out on DVD eventually, but
yeah.
Because all the DC stuff still Disney.
But I mean, at the same time, it's not expensive, so you can always just in the interim watch it. Exactly get binge, watch it in the interim, and then buy it once it comes out. You know what I mean? So you're not having to wait so long.
I am sad that I bought all the Doom Patrol season. And they just cancelled. I'm like, oh,
I know.
It was so good. Doom Patrol was one of their best fucking shows.
It's just crazy. Again, because
there's Lower Decks last season just finished up.
Oh,
Star Trek. If anyone's a fan of Star Trek, yeah.
Lower
Decks. I was still going to watch the last season. I waited until it came out. Resubscribe to that's it, Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
To watch it all rather than just do it one day and then wait until the next episode.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait a little bit because there's the new. I think it's on Paramount. The new Dexter. Is it on Paramount? Is it coming to?
It's already on. It's already on Paramount.
All the new Dexter stuff. Yeah, there's the new Dexter prequel series, Original Sin,
yes.
And then there's another sequel coming as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
So we had the main series, and then they had that other sequel that continued on after it finished, and then they've got another sequel
a bit in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got another season following on after that as well.
That reminds me when I was in LA at Comic Con, and they had the Dexter booth there. This is like a while ago, and it was good because when you go to conventions, they have booths set up and they're playing. It's just selling stuff. But I like the booths where they're just showing off stuff, more of an exhibition, more of a, something you can interact with as well. And it was cool because they had the table set up with the body on there and all in the Glad wrap, and it had all the stuff from the TV show all around everywhere. It's something good to kind of look over, and you can take photos with and stuff. I like that stuff at conventions.
The immersion,
it's not something. The immersion. It's something to enjoy that show or movie or whatever else, and it's not something there to just flog something off and sell. Which is, there needs to be at conventions a good mixture of stuff like that, along with the stuff that you're selling.
Yeah.
Like, when you're like, oh yeah,
you have to cater for both.
Well, not catering, but more of something like more experiences. Options, more experiences rather than just shops. That's one thing I don't like. Where I love shops at conventions, but at the same time, I want experiences at conventions. So you've got your panels, that's all great. You've got your signing booths, so that's all great. But I want more experiences at conventions and things that you can see that you only can at conventions. I like seeing those cars from TV shows and movies. That's great. I love seeing, panels. That's great. I love seeing shops as well, but I want those more experiences where it's just they're putting it in there, not just to promote a TV show that's happening at the moment, but stuff that's been there. That's like everyone loves that type of TV show that's been out for years, even if it isn't something that's new and relevant. It's still something that's a good experience to have. Like there is also a car that you can photo with from Supernatural, even though that's finished up. It's great to kind of like go, this car is awesome. You can take a photo of the car, jump in it, and all that kind of stuff. And having like a booth where it's like the Dexter table, all Glad wrapped up, that was awesome. Other things like that. Nice photo booths. Booths just set up with displays from TV shows or movies or anime, whatever they can kind of interact with. I think there was one at Supernova they did, or it was Comic-Con, I can't remember. They had it where you can take a photo and you take your fingerprints and all that kind of stuff, and the police officer would take all your details. It was like the Gotham PD. That was awesome. Stuff like that. Those type of experiences.
That would be a cool experience. So like getting all that done like that.
Yeah. You need more experiences like rather than just showing horn, like using every inch just to have a stall there that's selling you stuff. Like you got to have that separation. Like
buying stuff is cool in a sense, but not as interacting.
Well, it's mainly because a lot of those things you could just go. Well, I just feel like sometimes I can just go online and get it cheaper.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes, yes, it is cheaper at the conventions, but at the same time, I'm not there to go shopping. I'm there to experience the culture. So, you've got your cosplays, that's great, but not just cosplays. You go there to enjoy the culture
atmosphere and the environment.
The atmosphere and environment. You're not there to just go off and shop, or you can go there and check out the cosplays. That's great, and check out the panels. But you want stuff there that celebrates the culture rather than just kind of sell it. Culture, like capitalism, you could say. But that's one thing. That's my little rant. I want to see more of that at conventions, and also the nightlife. I love the nightlife conventions where it's like if they have an after party for like 18 plus, that's fantastic. Where you just want to enjoy it, like a little concert or just something that for everyone that can enjoy. That's one thing I wish Australia had for their conventions. Right. Like overseas, they have a fantastic nightlife. Like PAX as well. That's fantastic because everyone's going out, and then bars have like celebrations happening or galas or anything like that. Conventions don't have enough of that. They've got the meet and greet VIP stuff and maybe like a concert for someone. I think Masters, played Spike. Whenever he's in country, he's got like an intimate concert. That's fantastic. But there needs to be stuff in, not just that. You need to have more celebrating the culture and having fun about it rather than just shoehorning capitalism and filling every square inch just to sell you stuff. You want stuff there to have, things you can pick up for free, things that you can experience, things you can talk about. You want them for conventions. And that's just my little rant whenever I get a chance to say what should be at conventions.
Right? Like that's it though. Like that's 100% it though. It's like that's what you want to go.
Well, you want things to celebrate. Like, that's one thing that's I wouldn't say stop me from going to conventions. That's one thing that's
park and not having any rides. It's like you paying to go to an amusement park to go on the rides.
Yeah, you're not going to an amusement park to buy a bunch of food and just stand there.
That's why I like PAX. When I went to PAX, I preferred PAX as an experience over like Supernova and other conventions.
Exactly.
Because
it was
they
more
had,
of an experience.
like actual interactivity and actually have things related to what the convention is, not just like here's a bazillion market stalls and that's it. Like it's not about the market stalls.
There was still things to buy, and if you wanted to buy, you could buy. It was great, but there was more experiences for there. Like I went to PAX this year; it was fantastic. So I went to, of course, the nightlife as well. Went to the gala. I think there was. I managed to, BattleTech, the mech figurines.
BattleTech. Yeah.
BattleTech Mech Warrior. I managed to you've got the board games, the figurines. BattleTech. So you had BattleTech, like the little figurines, all that kind of stuff. They were there at PAX, and they were in the board game section. And I got told by a friend of mine, like he was like, "Hey, look, Careless Games Labs is going to be there. Can you go get me some stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, awesome! That they do Shadowrun. I've played those games, Shadowrun, and all that kind of stuff."
Yeah.
I thought it was just a stall set up with just someone just selling stuff. No. They were doing a tour, and they were showing off all the new stuff that was coming out, and they had the actual guys that made everything from they actually had the Catalyst Games Lab guys there. So I did a little stream for my friend because he couldn't be there, and he loves those guys from Catalyst Games, from BattleTech and all that. So I bought him some figurines and stuff that was only limited edition there as well, and bought it for him and got that together. And because there was the head guy there from Catalyst Games, one of the head guys, one of the creators of the books and everything, I got him to sign it for him as well. And I rang my friend, and I got on a little video call for him and put it on for him, so he was able to chat with one of the guys from Catalyst Games Labs because he couldn't be there. So because I asked him, and they actually took the time over the day to say yes and hop on my phone and actually stream to him for it.
That's cool.
So it was good they actually said yes to that. So my friend was appreciated because he couldn't make it because they're doing a world tour. I managed to get a limited edition patch off him as well, and got those limited edition figurines, stuff like that. But it's only things. That's the great thing that I like about conventions, going back to before, is having those experiences, and you want those experiences. And I love having special guests there at conventions, not just the people who are like celebrities or anything like that. You want people that are just all different types of, special guests. You don't having the authors there. That's fantastic, like Supernova does. Having the comic book artists, that's great as well. The voice actors, and they're part of celebrating the whole culture of it. And going back before, that's why you want those booths, those stores that have that opportunity to have that experience.
Also, voice actors they're some of the most knowledgeable people. Like they talk about everything.
100%, yeah.
You can chat to them about anything you want, and they'll just sit and chat with you. Or
yeah. But no, that's I enjoyed that at PAX as well. Besides the whole culture, not enough free stuff though this year. I was trying to fill my suitcase. The rule of thumb is whenever you go to PAX is you fill half your luggage up with the clothes that you're going to have and the stuff, toiletries and that for the year, and you leave the other half empty.
Right.
And the other half is to fill with merch that you get from PAX. And it's not just like the merch stuff that you buy, it's mainly the free stuff. Like one of the best ones I got from one of the PAXs was a rubber ducky. It was a white rubber ducky, and it was for the Hitman game. And it had he had the red tie, and he had the tattoo on the back of the head, and it was a white rubber ducky. And I'm like,
cool.
I still got it. I still got the rubber ducky, but I wish I got more of them as well. Just kind of went back and grabbed more.
Yeah.
There's some great things that you can get even for free.
That is ironic, man. Goddamn.
Oh yeah, and it's and PAX is great for collecting the pins as well. I'm kind of lacking on collecting the pins because it does get quite pricey.
Yeah.
But it's I'll get what I can. I got 1 or 2 pins while I was there, but it's the experience of it. Like and I like to see conventions more of that.
That's what
having PAX is the pinnacle, but PAX is but when you compare Australian conventions, even comparing PAX to when I went overseas and checked out conventions there, it's like PAX is just doing what other conventions doing overseas, which I think that some of the other conventions like Comic-Con and Supernova, they need to step up a little.
Comic-Con one day, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, Oz Comic-Con in Australia, I'm just saying Oz and Supernova, they're gradually getting there. They're gradually getting there to where it's that level where the ones that are overseas. But I don't. It makes it. I understand it makes it hard for them because we don't have the amount of people to justify those big things.
But I reckon they would though if they did it bigger. No, but if they start doing events bigger enough, they would start getting people coming here.
Yeah.
Because literally...
Yeah. It's a catch-22. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Or bring other people in.
Then it'll create word of mouth.
That's example for the new... say for example, Movie World, they recently opened their Wizard of Oz precinct. That's the only precinct in the world for a Wizard of Oz precinct is here in Australia. And there's already people that are talking to come. They're going to fly here from other countries.
Yeah.
They're coming here to go see that precinct.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They got to create the incentive. I know they've been all scared about being oh, we don't want to maybe take the risk to do that. But if you don't, you're not giving yourself the incentive to people go, oh, they're doing this. I want to go there. We talk about we would rather you're Jim. You're oh, I want to go to. I'd love to go to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. You want to go to that. You know what I mean? That's an incentive that you go overseas because
the thing with San Diego Comic Con though, it's hard to get a ticket. It's hard to get a ticket.
But so
people still go even if they don't have a ticket. It's because it's kind of like the same thing with PAX in Melbourne. So when the convention happens, there's not just stuff at the convention. If you don't go to the convention, you can still do stuff around the convention that is just as good. Or you might even spend
Comic-Con, there's a shit.
There's a shit ton as well.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the great thing.
You've got people that are coming from overseas.
That's the biggest convention ever, right?
It's
massive.
But you have people coming over from overseas coming to PAX in Australia. But you talk to anyone, no one's going to come over from overseas to come to Supernova or Oz Comic-Con.
No, because they're too shit compared to theirs.
We have guests that literally back out coming to Oz Comic-Con and Supernova because it's mid. It's not the best.
Yeah, because they need to fully commit to something.
They need to really up the ante of what they're doing, but it's because the people that are running it aren't committing.
I love Supernova and Oz Comic-Con. It's just, I think that
they could do a lot more.
They can do a lot more, and I think whenever they try to do a lot more, it's only for that year, and you don't expect to come back. I remember one year where they had the circular camera, jump in the middle and take the. I'm where is that? Why is that not coming back? They did once
and they didn't come back, which is shitty because I love that.
Stuff like that. You want stuff like that because you want get the people get in, not just to go and go. Oh, it's a bunch of shops. Yeah. Why is it just a bunch of shops? I want to go. I want to pay because one of the things that happened is remember the years. You know this, Dale.
Yeah.
Is the cosplayers wouldn't pay to go inside. They would hang out in the foyer. It's because they knew it was just a bunch of shops in there and there was no point.
Yeah, exactly. You're paying to go in just to look at markets, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and also it was just you paid to go in and you saw the same thing there every single year.
Basically almost nearly one-to-one same layouts as well.
Yeah.
The same people go there, the exact same booth they did the year before.
Yeah, exactly. And if they brought back something like the spinning camera that did the 360 rotating photo, that would be fantastic. You would beat the booths where it's more interactive. And you need more of those. The reason why you need more of them, you at least need 40%.
Incentives, yeah.
Or 60% of that, of the four, and then have the
But that's what I meant with OG Supernova as well, back in the day when you spit the RNA. They'd give you bags.
They had plenty of room.
They give you bags. It was like the Echo. They'd even give you a newspaper sometimes, that day's newspaper. It's Supernova, you didn't need it. Also, but they'd give you that. They give you knickknacks and shit, and they give you a whole event guide.
Bang for your buck. Bang for your buck. Yeah. But I know what you mean. Why isn't because when I went to the other conventions, they'd give you a bag and come away and and then also there was
so many freebies, and there was freebies. You could go to different stores. So you actually had vendors like PAX does, like that would promote things, and you could talk to them. You could participate in playing their game. Like I can't remember if it was OzCon or Supernova, but they had like a Magic setup. You could go play. You'd get like a little small sample deck of like 20 cards or 30 cards, or whatever it was. Go play a game, but then you got to keep those cards. They were now your cards.
Yeah.
So you had a deck
PAX does the paint your own figurine.
Yeah.
And so does Like if you go to a Warhammer store, you can go there on certain days and you get a free figurine and paint that figurine yourself, and you get to keep that figurine.
Yeah.
And it was to get you. Why isn't Warhammer showing up at Supernova or Oz Comic Con and doing that?
Well, they used to. They used to.
That's what I mean. They used to. Like, where is that all? Like, all the good things that we used to. Yeah. Money, because they want to fill those spaces up with more shops that give them money to keep things. I understand to keep it going, but they're also people are paying for entry fee. And what's the point of paying entry fee when all you're doing is paying to get into a shop when I can just go online and order that stuff anyway for cheaper?
Yeah. Right. And the worst problem is half the stores you go in there's 3 stores selling the exact same shit.
100%. And they're all probably owned by the same people.
Yeah.
They've just got staff there and they're flogging it all off. And it's the cheap shit as well. I understand there's some things there that you can only get at conventions, but if you look hard enough online, you can find it on Temu, for Christ's sakes. So if I'm going to go in and pay, I want to get more bang for my buck.
Right.
For example,
even if it's like every person that buys a ticket gets put into a raffle for a contest or something, like anything, give you those incentives.
Yeah, stuff like that. More incentives to go through the door. You want more heads through the door. Like I remember, even though one successful event that I saw this year was the anime kind of like not the anime festival, but they had the anime shop. Did you see it? They had the convention center.
I didn't even know about it. Like it was just like
they did it again afterwards because it was so successful. I saw the line down from one end of the convention to like halfway down because people were trying to get in, but because they had limited space and limited
they didn't really announce stuff again. Well,
no, even it was like just people going there checking out all indie stores, like all local artists. The place was packed out, and they couldn't let anyone else come in and pay. Because they had a limited amount of room, which therefore they only had a limited amount of people that they could keep in there because of fire safety. So every person that would leave, then they'd let another one in. That's why the line was so long. But if you just, and it was the cheap price to get in too, as well. And people to buy stuff. Yeah. And like that, in that concept, yes, it's good to just only sell products and people would pay to come in and to just buy stuff. But if you're paying over $100 for a ticket to entry into someone just to buy things, and it's the same things that you're going to see inside a convention every single year, there's no point where you weigh up the options and go, I'd rather do something else. But if you show off all the other things that you can do in there that are more like experiences as well, that you can only experience at that convention and makes you want to enjoy the culture of it, that's when it becomes more likeliness that you'll get more heads through the door and people would want to go, screw it, I should have went to that convention. But if you're not going to have it from year to year and just give up and just go, we're just going to fill that space with another shop just to make up our money, even though you're charging people at the door, what's the point? Why are people going to go to conventions? When cosplayers refuse to go inside to pay entry when they can just hang out in the lobby. Yeah. Like, that's why they ended up trying to cancel
the whole LobbyCon thing. Like, that was crazy when they tried to, like, stop people
from even loitering. They called it LobbyCon,
Because so many people didn't want to go in and pay because it was getting ridiculous. So it was like a stand against it. And then they were like, oh, well, we're going to be like that. We're going to fight against who's doing that. So then no one could hang around in the areas. They just treated the market wrong. Like, it was just like dirty how they were doing it.
Yeah.
They put fences.
But then I remember one year, the whole Nazi memorabilia that was at one of the cons.
Yeah.
Someone was selling that, and then some cosplayer went up in arms about it and got everyone else angry about it as well. And I'm like, well, yeah, whatever. Like, that shit should have got invented in the first place. But that's on them for trying to just fill spaces with more shops.
Well, that's the problem, because that was Supernova. So there's a lot that goes into that, because the guy who actually, this is the fucked up part about it. It's actually kind of base knowledge. So the guy who runs the convention is a real dickhead, and he knew and was aware of that, things like that, and he just allowed it to be there for the 2 days. Like, it was a 3-day thing, and it was there for like 2 days.
What was the reason why? It was just because that person was paying for the store, so they just didn't care?
He didn't really. Well, he just didn't care at all. He's like, the dude is apparently very like anti like trans and LGBT and stuff. And apparently one of the things he likes to boast that he goes, all the money that comes into me, I pay to go to like conversion camps and stuff to save people. Like, that's what he's like. The guy who owns and runs Supernova. He's a very like. And it's
conservative.
Conservative, yeah. And it's kind of funny though. But again, that's on the people that, again, it's like, okay, it's a well-aware knowledge, but I do find it funny though that there's people out there that don't really. It's weird. I find the funny point of that is that there's trans people that go to the convention that funds this guy who then uses that money to fund anti-trans camps and stuff like that. It's just like this whole loop cycle on themselves. It just cracks me up in general thinking about that flow of it though.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just like this guy doesn't hide shit. Like, he's very like, I mean, he has staff that tries to hide shit. Like, they cover social media very strongly because there's a lot of controversy with the guy that runs the thing, and I think that's why half the problems why Supernova doesn't grow is because of how controversial he is.
Was that the reason why some of the staff members, like the presenters, left?
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff why people haven't come back because he's been very. That was like a throwback to an earlier one why we haven't had John DiMaggio come back, was that he had one of his signing booths and stuff when he first went, was, to his perception, it was just free. Like, people could just come up, and he didn't know that they were charging tickets for people to come see him. And there's been a lot of that kind of stuff happening for a while, where people were charging. I guess they're not bothering to look, or which then it's on the actors, but it's just kind of the whole. Or the management at least, but then are they not caring, because he doesn't have to look. His lawyers and PR team,
that's like anything. There's politics behind it. I'm just focusing mainly on how to improve the convention.
That's what I mean.
On those things. Yeah. But I understand that might contribute to the factor, but it's still a business in that sense, and you can't dictate what someone does outside of a business.
No, but I mean, if they're very...
But I understand what you mean, like, it's a...
Like, it's
culture is embedded with another culture, and therefore it's being contradicted by the person that runs that culture.
So therefore they're stuck in a very...
Kind of,
and if they're conservative, they're very one-track mind, and they will never think of growing and trying to achieve and do more. They'll just go, I'm in a comfortable spot, this is making me money, I'll just keep sitting here doing this and be, you know what I mean? Like, there's no, well, what can we do better? What can we do more? What can we give more? You know what I mean? Like, to get more, In the end, you'd be profiting because you'd be getting more people coming, so you'd be making more money. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Try to fix it, but if you keep sticking with the same thing again and again, there's either two outcomes. One, people know exactly what to expect,
right?
But you'll never grow from that, which is the point that you're trying to make. If they're going to stick the same, tried true, that's whatever we make do with what don't change what's working. But I'm doing is displaying on what things that could do to improve it, and that's what bigger conventions are doing. And considering that the population density is increasing in Australia because of immigration and everything else in factor of it, it makes sense to put more bums on seats by trying newer things that could actually increase it. Because we all know pop culture now is mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, comic book movies are big budget now.
Yeah.
Comics are big, making money. Anime, manga.
It's no longer a special thing. Like,
it's no longer a niche. It's no longer like, people.
If these people are going to be very fickle the way they are, they're not going to think to like try and bring in some of these extra some of these actors or writers and stuff and things that are a bit more open-minded because they're so tracked, you know what I mean? Because they think, the PR team just goes, well, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to stick to. But then there's like broader spectrums of like types of people that are making media, you know, like, or doing acting, and
so that I know where you're coming from.
Spectrum, you know, opens the source that, you know, don't just stick to the same kind of like, let's just always go for these same time to actors. Like, how many times has fucking we got what's his name, fucking Wolf Creek? He's there like every fucking convention.
Yeah, I think he's got a holiday home down the Gold Coast.
They have
like
Gold
Coast one, so it's like a 15-minute drive for him. So it's kind of like, let's make a couple $100 or whatnot on a 2-day weekend.
But like, what's his name again? The guy who played Spike. What was his name again? Who played Spike in Buffy?
Oh, that was John James Masters. Yeah, James Masters.
Yeah. Like he's like at Supernova like every second convention.
Marsden is the Sonic dude.
Yeah. But saying that, he is fantastic, guy.
Yeah. But like that's
and
the
same thing with, I can't remember his name now. One of Sleuth out of Smallville. He's always there at Supernova as well. No. He's got his own podcast as well. I can't remember his name.
The one who played Lex Luthor, yeah.
Yeah, one who plays Lex Luthor. He's always there at Supernova as well.
But like, that's the thing though, like,
he was a regular. He is fantastic as well. He would always come down, like, he would make himself available whenever he can just to come to Australia. Same with James Masters as well. Like, they're fantastic people in general, and they will see the fans, whether they're, you know, like...
Yeah. You know, that's an understandable thing. Like, but like the thing is like it's always the same card. Like you always look at all the actors, they always try to get. It's always the same connections.
Yeah.
Like it's always.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like why not you trying more to get? There's more than those. Like there's a lot of like same category level or less of a lot of actors that a lot of people would like to see. You know what I mean? That clearly aren't busy. Like, that clearly aren't like, oh, we're going to get this one. Oh, there's a schedule. Like, you clearly know they're going to be in a schedule because they're trending at the moment. I can see you trying to get them because they're trending, but like...
I know what you're saying with that. But remember, their schedule can change and they will choose priority where it's more of a paying
That's what I mean, though. Like, I know, and that's the thing. Like,
I understand where people going to have commitments, but at the same time, if something comes up, because...
But that's what I'm saying.
If they've got like filming schedules and that changes, that has to do more priority because that's more of a paying job than it is.
But that's what I'm saying though. Why always target those actors when there's clearly a lot of other actors that are literally not doing anything else except for maybe doing podcasts and YouTube channels? You know what I mean? Because celebrities have dumbed down, like they've gone down because work is so limited for them. There's clearly a lot out there that would take the extra money to come.
Okay, I can explain that. It's good to approach those ones, yes, but one of the other things is you have to see if there's a market for it. So there's no point bringing in all these people that are available if they're not.
But people will though. That's the thing though. People will go. Oh, I remember.
Oh yeah. I understand that. But then it's still because it still comes down to Australia. One of the reasons I go for the experiences more than just the actors and the voices, it's great to get them in. The reason why I'm saying I think experiences is more important to work on and develop because it would be a lot more reliable and cheaper than trying to get all these actors and voice actors.
But the experiences makes it more popular because some of these actors, like again, coming back to the thing, might go, oh, what the fuck's that? Like, I'm not going to go because it's a waste of my time, even though they're a local actor. But if there's something that helps grow things bigger, more people talk about it, more people come all the time, then there's a chance of having more, you know, outreach. Because we used to have a lot of, like, creators come, and then that's kind of just doesn't really happen anymore. Like,
but then there was factors over the years, of course, one factor. But another one is it worth their time? If they still get the invite and they earn a certain percentage of the signed contracts, and they're only making a couple of $100, even though it costs them $1,500 one way. And that may be out of their own to fly to Australia. Australia is still quite expensive to fly over, let's say, from America. And if they don't think they'll make enough money, if Supernova, I don't know how the breakout is, if it's 50-50 and they're only... exactly. If they're charging $120, let's say, or $100 for a signing, but even if they're not well noted, it's $50. And they're only making $25 per signature, and they have to make up for the cost of the flight and accommodation if Supernova doesn't fence for them, because if they're not huge named, obviously they probably may not offer, you know, accommodation or flights. So they have to pocket out of their own money. So if they're not a local, Therefore, if there's someone from overseas, let's say America, it's cost them $1,500 each way. So that's $3,000 plus accommodation for like 3 days. But if you were doing multiple conventions, that's more flights on top of it. It may cost you $10,000 of your own money to travel to Australia, let's say from America, to pay for flights and accommodations. But then you have to make back that money from either from signatures, which may only be charged from $50, depending on the breakdown. If it was 50-50, you're only making $25 per signature.
Yeah.
And then even then, if you get paid for the days that you've been there, you've only got 3 days making $25 per signature out of so many people coming through that door. And then also you've got your food expenses on top of that. And we don't know what the breakdown, how much they're making it. So you've got to spend $10,000 of your own time, and you only get 2 or 3 conventions to make back that $10,000. Do you think you can make $10,000 out of $25 each signature?
Nope.
Exactly.
So
that's the realistic, logical breakdown on what I can assume on how it would go.
I don't think there's any assumption. That is the factor. Like
that is if you're breaking it down that way, because Supernova gives them, they may only give them like, it's $1,000 for the weekend. You're thinking, fantastic, $1,000 for the weekend, but that's only $1,000 off of the $10,000 you've got to spend to get down there, and then try and make up the money from the signatures. And that's if you're not hugely popular, you have to make sure that you've got other stuff that's happening at the same time to make back that $10,000.
If you're not a popular one, you're only getting 10, 20,
exactly. You work at that one convention, and depending on the overhead, density that's going through those doors.
Some love it. They're not for the money though, as well. Like some dude, and they're getting nothing from it. Some people write it off as a work holiday, right? And they can claim it on tax, or they're already coming down. So they just want to see the fans.
At the same time.
They just want to be in the environment.
Exactly. But realistically, yes, you can invite anyone from a list of other people that go, this person would be great at conventions. But you've got to work down to realistically how much money is Supernova going to give them to attend, and how much money do they have to spend to attend themselves to be there, and how much of a cut of the money.
It's really the struggling people who want the
which is great. Money. Like it's a reason why. Like remember when Chris Hemsworth, Thor was doing Sydney, he was charging $250 a signature. I think it was $250, and that was just for signature of photos, or Stan Lee, or anything like that. Yeah, Jesus. I know he doesn't because he's making a lot of money, but then that's how much you're charging. Think of it this way: how much is Supernova getting a cut of that, and how much is he getting a cut of that?
Exactly.
Even if it's 50-50, it's still a lot.
He lives right fucking near there, so
yeah. But then you've got someone like if you've got a small time, somewhat celeb, they do a podcast, they're still big, they're making money. Which is the reason why, money is it worth to spend $10,000? Or if you have a job that pays you $20,000, you're worthwhile cancelling your convention that you're going to, that flying over and doing that, because then that you get that $20,000, which is much more financially viable. Which is that's why I don't get angry when someone cancels and said, "Hey, look, I've got other commitments," because they'll make more bank, because if you were in that situation, what would you'd go for it?
Oh, exactly. Production over.
Which is like I said, which is the reason why I don't get angry.
It's also a circumstance.
Circumstance.
Turn up,
and especially if you've got things booked out, you'd be losing out on money. But if you're making more money than come down, that's fine. But I'm just saying, realistically, when you think about that breakdown on the reasons why, then you can actually go, hey, look, actually, that makes sense.
The worst problem is, as well, there's another thing which is also another silly thing that Supernova does, because this comes back to management, is they'll say that they're going to have a guest come that they haven't even communicated with.
Yeah.
Supernova's done it a lot. It is
okay. I just didn't pay it. I might have not picked up on those.
No, but that's another thing that's happened as well, which is crazy. Like they've said they're going to bring someone in, and then and that they've not been like they've done it so many times where they think, oh, they're going to maybe be in the country. We'll try and get them maybe, and then they just won't connect properly, or they'll just put people up, and then
may be a long shot just to get people.
Yeah, but then they hype it up.
I understand that. Yeah.
That's
I know.
another crazy thing to try as well. Like that's crazy to like just like basically say we're going to have the celebrities, and then not even.
That comes down to, because remember, if you ever work for any company, they'll tell you one thing. And then they'll say, yeah, do this. But they may not have it locked in, but you've been told that it's locked in. So, you can't shoot the messenger.
No, but that's exactly it. No, exactly. It's still like it's head end at the end. Being like, oh, we're going to do this. And then it's like, get you to promote it. Gets close just before it comes. And so it's like, oh, they've cancelled. And then people get all weird. Right. It's like, well, it's because they just used it as clickbait just to kind of like bait people in to buy the tickets to try and come.
Yeah, I never paid attention to that type of politics for the conventions, so I don't know examples. But
I've got people that like know all the ins and a lot of stuff that goes on. It's just crazy when you hear all these sides of things.
I'm just not a political person. I hate politics, so I just kind of keep on my side of it. I understand the breakdowns on how things work, and I understand if it happens, it happens. If people are doing that, and I am. Yeah, okay, that's bullshit. But that was
like me, because like I didn't really want to go to Super like this one that passed. Like I wanted to go because of like Adam Savage was there, but then it was like it was like I'd have to pay $50 or whatever it was just to get in for the day. It would have been cheaper on the Friday, but then I couldn't go the Friday because it was school period. So otherwise it would have been like $25. But then I have to pay $25 to then get into the convention, then pay alone $90 to get a photo. And then, and it just starts adding up. It's just like, I've got to pay to get in to then pay for this. Like, it gets a bit out of hand. Like, it just gets a bit crazy.
It does, and that's where, like, it comes down to, like, individually, like, if you have that money to spend for them, spend on it, yeah, sure. But, it does add up, like, especially when you go in there, there's all the shops, and you're like...
And that's exactly it. Like, that's when...
You're like, I want to spend my money on it.
Like, that's the thing, it's like, it's kind of crazy when that's what it comes down to sometimes if you want to go or not, because there's just markets, it's just all markets. And the one thing decided to go is like, who's going to be there, Okay, that celebrity's going to be there, then I'll go, okay,
but you want more than just one thing. So that was the point that I was trying to make at the start, is because when you go to the convention, you don't just go there just for one thing. You want to go there for multiple.
Like, I remember walking around and being like, there was like different vendors that were there, and they'd promote things like you'd see it like most other like conventions, and like they'd just give out, because I remember like places used to give out like free chocolate milks and stuff, like you get
I love free things at conventions. That's one
free
thing.
Stuff, like give you free drinks or top you up, like you'd, even if it's a small sample or
that's one factor of PAX that I love. That's one factor, like going there and not just experiencing it. You get all these freebies. And not just the freebies. There's people that just go there just for one thing, but the other things there are extra. Like it's great because they like that extra stuff as well. So there's people that just go for the panels. Like that's fantastic. You'll get people that do that, but then they like still going onto the convention floor and getting a bunch of freebies or experiencing things there. And you need to have all those boxes ticked to have a successful convention,
right?
Or at least a convention that just kind of makes you go, I want to come back every. And for me, I like still going to Supernova Oz Comic Con. It's not something that I anymore would kind of make a date for and go out of my way to kind of
if you happen to be out there,
if I've got time, I'll do it. But I don't see the bang for my buck, especially when I walk in and all I see is shops.
That's it. Like the last time I went was like, I think might have been earlier in the year, or it was like end of last year. And it's just like that's all it was just wall to wall shops, and it's just like stalls. And I'm like,
but one of the other things that does factor that I know is just that at the convention centers they have a bunch of strict rules which they can't have certain things. For example, food. So they can only serve food that's like food. Like, I think it was Gold Coast Convention Center where they have it, so they can only cater for the food. You can't have food there from the outside.
The only one I think I got away was like Domino's could like sell inside.
Yeah, I think Domino's was
a partner thing. But
it's nice to have Domino's there as well. It's like to have that factor, and I think they just need need to spread it out more, because there's plenty of rooms in a convention center, right? If you hire out the whole place and have it all that kind of stuff, there's empty rooms that just aren't being used for anything. And then just need to spread it out more, where it just makes you feel like you get your bang for buck, because you go onto the floor and just you have the section which has all the
actually
stops.
wander around and go different spaces.
Yeah, but you want those experiences in between the shops, and you want a good flow of things where you kind of like, you don't want to see shop, 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 shop. You want to see shop, shop, something awesome to see, and then shop, shop, something awesome to see. And then shop, 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 and then something awesome to see. You don't want to just go walk around and just go, yeah, okay, didn't I just see them sell the same thing like 3 shops down? Like, give me a break here. Like, put something else here instead. Or like, don't have an empty space, I've seen that at conventions as well. That there's a blank space, and it's like, I understand if a shop pulls out at the last minute, but fill it with something. Like, bring something out back. Put anything there. If it's empty on a Friday, and you know they're not going to be there for the rest of the weekend, and they're bailed out, just fill it with something else. Fill it with, I don't know, fucking, like I said, a Dexter booth, or something like a photo opportunity booth,
or even double booth, something like make them have just fill that damn space.
Yeah. Or at least grab the one that's selling the exact same shit and merge them into one booth and tell them to fucking go suck it up. I don't know.
It's just crazy.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's those little gripes for the conventions that kind of like got me.
It just does my head in,
Yeah, it does me as well. And like, I love conventions.
The big thing is, the end of the day, it's you're paying money for it. Like, you want to be able to get your money's worth.
Yeah. And if they upped the price and they did offer those things, I would go. I would go, because I'm already paying exuberant to go to PAX. I'm paying flights, I'm paying accommodation, but then there's something that's just takes me 20 minutes to drive to, and it's not worth it, because all I'm going to see is shops. Like, I could just go online, or I'll go there for one day. I'm not going to pay for the rest, because it's not worth it, because there's not shit that I'll come back to, because it's like seen it. I can go online, get that cheaper. I can, but that's why also I think the reason why that indie anime little pop up at the convention worked so well, because it was a lot of things that online. Like, that's why I like going to the indie section, the indie artist alley, is because it's a lot of things that you just can't get anywhere else. Sure, there was that uproar about when indie, like, AI art started coming up, and then it was just like, well, if there was anyone with a booth there that was selling AI art, go stick it, because it takes you 2 seconds to in a paragraph to go and I want to have I want Santa to look like the Hulk to blah blah. and this is my second rant on that. Anyone that thinks themselves as a serious artist by generating AI art,
I mean, there's a time and place. You can use AI to.
There's a time. If
you use it to create stuff, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, if you use it to create stuff and create it as art, and then put it up and try and sell it to people, you can go fuck yourself.
That was,
and I'm using that literally.
You can use it to enhance.
You can use an AI-generated robot to shove I don't know, a spiked mallet up your rear end.
I was going to say, there was an artist that does kind of, in a sense, political kind of art, like stuff when things happen, like certain dramatic things, and they do like, trying to cash in on it, which makes sense. Like, they're an artist. Yeah. But there was like that when there was like that dude who shot that chemist, the whatever it was, the scientist, the
CEO.
Yeah. Like, there was a shirt that someone worked on. Like,
Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. Yeah. So they did the whole. Was it defy, disposed, whatever. It was like a whole slogan thing. There was a meme for it basically, and there was an artist that does that kind of stuff, and it took him like, I think it might have been like 10 hours to do the drawing. Like, they were straight onto it though. Like, they did all the work. Like, as soon as it was down, they were onto it doing a design. And someone basically ripped their design. They chucked that, because the image was out there, because they were selling merch for it. So they found that someone had basically taken their image design, chucked it into AI, had AI spit out like a similar version plus a completely different version, but basically being the exact same thing in their kind of style. So basically plagiarizing this person's style of art and then reselling it on merch and basically getting sales while they weren't getting any sales. Like, the original artist was getting nothing. And yeah, it's just like it's crazy that they're just stealing people's shit. Not even not even trying to redraw it themselves. Like I can understand if you like copied it and redrew it yourself. Like
and
hey,
guaranteed that person would say, "Oh my god, it's so hard creating AI art." And it's not. It is fucking not. Really. And they can go fuck themselves.
Like I can do a drawing, have one style drawing, once it's like, and upload it into AI, and then ask it to replicate that style, and I can pretty much doing that several times, and it's easy done. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. It's so easy.
Style into it.
Like people that think that it's so hard.
Like I've got a drawing. I've got a draw because I bought myself a tablet to draw on. There's a drawing I'm doing. Usually I'm a little bit more quicker on my computer when I was doing it. But like I'm playing around with the time I've had, but I've spent more time on it, and I still actually haven't finished the drawing yet of a design on one of my other designs I'm doing again. Like it's just one of those things. Like it takes time to do because you got to draw everything and then outline everything and then color it in. Like it's so many stages.
Scratch. But when you're using AI art to
that's what I mean. That's what it's annoying.
Create
it's like
stuff,
AI
and if you put it off as it's so hard, then you can go fuck yourself.
Like it's like maybe if you're curating and that's the one thing that got me is like. Call of Duty has said like they're doing that now, like they use AI art. And it's just like you've got artists that could be you paying to do it.
Yeah,
and
tons of artists.
And that's what the whole point of those like calling cards and things before was. It was made by artists doing different art styles. Like that's why you had that. Now they're just getting AI to generate all this stuff, so they don't have to pay any artists, and they're making all this money. And it's like, well, then what's the cost of all this thing when you're not paying the work? You know what I mean? Like, again,
there's a time and place when doing it. If you're creating memes, go. I love it.
Yeah.
But when you're literally kind of making it off as in if you palm yourself as an artist,
and you're
when
just
creating AI art, you are a charlatan and an idiot. Just go jump off a cliff. That's all I can say. Just jump off a cliff.
I don't want to hear any complaints of design and hardness. Like when you're not struggling, when you're not spending 10 hours or whatever on a drawing, a sketch or something or a design. It's like you're not. No. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I hate when these people try to. Oh, so hard, so it works. Like you've done nothing. All you did was sit there behind your keyboard for maybe 10 hours, but you've put in like a bazillion different keywords because you've made like 50 different photos.
Yeah.
Because you've just set the
key.
But you know, you decide to spend 10 hours typing in keywords, which you know, like you didn't have to. You're letting AI do it. You can literally put it in, walk away, and it's doing stuff while you're not there.
Yeah.
Like I am for.
And if you're making it to be hard, then yeah.
Like I am for like the new AI system stuff where people are doing it to help, like take the workload. Like some of these like video editing stuff, like where it's taking the workload, where it's help cleaning and buffering and upscale. Like that, I'm for AI doing that.
This also goes into. There was a panel that was shown.
But when it's doing all the work, like that's
Well, going into that AI kind of is there was a panel that was shown recently. There was a company. It was at a gaming convention, and they were like, "Okay, we used AI to completely create new games, and all they do is the same thing as any AI. You put in the keywords." And it creates it for you. So they go, oh, we want a first-person shooter that's totally awesome, that does this, and then they type it in and it creates the game from scratch.
Yep.
And watching that panel, and you can see everyone, all the people in the audience were just like silent, and they were booing it. Yeah. Anyone that was silent or booing, no one was like it because all the people that were there were the people in the industry going, we've lost our jobs.
There's no soul in it. There's no
like heart. I can understand.
There's no soul. There's no heart. There's no fun. All you're doing is still the same thing. Putting in keywords. You're not an artist. You're literally
automating.
Putting in a bunch.
It's automating. It's automating everything.
Yeah, and there's no
like that's why I like some AI stuff that's coming on board. Like because like watching Corridor Digital and they use AI, but in the sense of workload AI. So like they got stuff going, they can leave it and it's working to help finish stuff
improve
that they've already Well, they don't have to sit there and tweak things.
But
like,
they still create it themselves.
They create it. They just got that to do the workload to help, so they don't have to sit there and tweak everything. And then because they've fine tuned a lot of it now, so they can do the work, then just let it run, and then it can fix everything up for them and do what it needs to do. And then they go back and they won't go, oh, that's right, that's wrong. Then they have to do it again. But it's good to like have things take the workloads, then they can do other stuff. They can focus it nicely. But yeah, when you're doing like that, when it's just creating everything from scratch, like I do enjoy where people are like, playing with AI for code stuff, like when they're like making games, but they're trying to do a certain thing and they're having trouble with the code. Then they've asked like AI, what's the code sequence for this? Because all that's doing is going through Google, finding the source code of how to create a code for a script to say like, you know, you want your character to run forwards to jump 3 times, you know, but you can't get the code right. But then it finds the code for you because someone has written it. Like that's what AI is doing. It's sourcing actual real materials. So then people go, okay, I'll grab that information, then insert it into my files.
Yeah, it's not true artificial intelligence. Like it's taking.
But when it's like that, when you're going like that, like say when you like they say there's the program, you're going, I want a game. Like I said, I want a game that does this, this, and this, and this, and just letting it do it. And then it's like made a whole game. Like that's not any input. Like you don't know if there's going to be bug. Like it's just AI copying things that already exist.
Also, if something goes wrong, where the fuck are you going to look first?
Yeah, you won't know where to look.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. Like it's a whole. Like AI is good for some things, but not everything. Like it's
good for helping, not creating.
Yeah, that's what AI is meant to be. AI is meant to be an assisting tool. It's just people are exploiting the assistant and making it the you know the actual like the client, basically. It's making it the client or the worker. You know, it's meant to be an assistant.
And we've already saw with the AI upscaling, it sucks.
Like it's good with some things.
The GTA trilogy.
Well, that sucked. But that's because. But that was literally unsupervised. That shows you what happens when you just go click, done, paste. Like that was literally unsupervised.
They did tinker things. Not everything.
No, but it's very unsupervised work though. They just let a thing do it and not check anything. They barely checked it.
Now because Rockstar have been fixing it the last year or two.
But like, but then you look at Soul Reaver. Those like the character model is a new character model. Like that's a good thing. But the environments are basically done AI enhanced environments.
Yeah, they look fucking good.
So they've actually cleaned up. But that's the thing. Like that's where it's good because it saves you having to go through and try and fine tune and redetail everything when it's all using the same parameters. It's good that it can just go, okay, this is what this looks like. Let's clean that up and make it a sharper image. You know, and that helped because they didn't need to do a drastic overhaul like system. Like they just needed the main environment textures sorted, and then they just redid the player model and just slapped it on top so you can, and, you know, so you can switch between the modes so you can see the differences.
All the character models, not just his, it's all the character models for everything.
But it's cool to see the balance of work where they focused the work where it needed to be done. Like they didn't rely on AI to do everything. Like they needed to because it helped the workload.
That could have been messy.
It's like, well, we saved the time on that. Let's just add AI clean these textures up, which is fine for that. Like it makes sense. Like you just clean up some of the textures. But when you go like GTA on the other hand, that was doing like a whole different thing because it's like a whole rebuild. It was more than just a let's just like grab these textures and it just didn't know what it was doing. It was fucky. But it's getting crazy. Like AI is getting. We are seeing it getting like more and more advanced. Like the detail is getting really crazy.
Yeah,
like, it's scary for people that just don't have a brain, that are just seeing things and just like, oh, that's like you clearly know that's not real, right? Like, it's
easy to tell an AI from not. Like, you can tell what is.
But there's just some people I just don't know the difference, and it's fucking scary. That's the scary part. Like, some people are just so blind to it. It's just like, like
there's nothing you can do to even tell them. Like, they just don't fucking listen.
Yeah.
Oh, there's different levels of certain people. Like, for example, I think it was Baldur's Gate or Fallout. So there was a smart thing that they did in one video. I can't remember which one. But if you encountered, it was Fallout New Vegas. So if you had your intelligence normal, like intelligence, so you encounter one character and you could not understand what they were saying. They sound like a homeless, just crazy person.
Yeah, rambling,
And you try talking to them. But if your intelligence was like 1 and you talk to that person in the game, you could completely understand them. Because you're on the same intelligence level as them. And it was funny when you spoke to them, they spoke like classic English, like, hello, good sir, how was your day? And it's like, what the hell? Like, you would talk to them with high intelligence and they'll be like, but when you talk to them as an idiot, you could completely
gibberish,
understand them. Gibberish. And that would sound Shakespearean when you did talk to them when you're on the same intelligence level. So I like to think of in the same sense, like in that video game, that some people are the same intelligence level. So when you can communicate with others,
I'm pretty sure that is a given, right? Like
that's a given. You can talk to the modicum. So if your intelligence was a 5, you can talk to a 6 or a 7, or a 4 or a 3, and you can communicate. But when you're a higher level, you can't talk to someone that's down here, because when you're talking to them, you're way above their level. You're just gonna, you
kind of got a layman term, like
you got to stoop to their level in order to communicate with them, and so that means you're literally lowering your intelligence level.
The Mark Sony talk? Because I was streaming his new one they did a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
I knew what he was talking about. People in chat like, "Why are you watching this? It's above our brain process." I'm like, I like it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like when you talk to some people, that's the thing. When for example, when I talk, most people I think like I'm just an average, so that's why I can talk to people a little bit more intelligent than me, a little bit above below. That's generally how you do. But as I said, when you're higher, then everyone below would just seem
it depends on the subject.
idiotic.
I can talk
You just
up here to some people and down here about music.
Because you have that games, you can generally talk to people a few notches above you and a few notches below you. But when you engage more intelligence, yes, you can see on that level. But that's how you communicate. That's how I look at it. But when you learn information, it's like a circle. So everything in there is your general information. Yeah. But when you learn more of something, that bubble increases, but it only increases in one factor. Think of like a spike that's coming out of that circle. So that means the more information. So, for example, we all know about video games. Yeah. We may seem a lot smarter because we know about video games. That's a huge spike from that general circle that we're speaking at. So that huge spike that's coming from out the circle, we've got the general information that we all know about, but because the video games is the general spike that's coming from there, we seem smarter because we know more knowledge of that space. But if from that other spike, when someone that knows about quantum physics and their spike is like out there, we will be able to communicate in that general circle. But anything above that, unless we learn more of that information, then we can actually be on the same stratosphere of that satellite of the spike coming from that general knowledge-based circle.
Like, what the fuck is he on about talking about shit?
Yeah. If that makes sense, like but I'm trying to explain it in the sense of like
it's just a cool concept. Like we are pretty much in an RPG. Like you'll have to learn.
Oh yeah, and that's the funny thing about it. It's like generally, it's all the things that we learn and adapt to and experience is the same things, because in video games that's how they've broken it down, and that's how we can visualize it, and that's the great way. Like that's why I love video games, because it does, especially like also RPGs, where it's kind of like, that does make sense.
It may seem like it's not real, but like an RPG is kind of, you're playing
life,
your own life, but you have complete control over it.
Yeah. And I'm like, and it makes sense when it's like, oh shit, I rolled a 0 or I rolled a 1, I'm fucked. Or it's like when you kind of like, you just seem your luck is, your charisma's high and you're like, I can talk to anyone, that's great. But when your charisma's, like a shocking, 2, you're like, oh well, that explains why this is happening. So you just got to really explain to it.
Except in an RPG, like in the game, you can be a master of 1.
Oh yeah. Because
you can't in real life. You cannot be a master of one thing.
Well, no, you can,
unless you dedicate your life to one. Like
that's what I'm saying before, like that satellite. So think of that circle again. Every common knowledge is in that circle. Everything that you do, you say, living, breathing, going, like all the things that you do. Pee, poo, whatever, that's in that common circle. Eat, drink, and anything from that, which is like, think of a line that goes out of that circle or a spike that leaves that circle, that's your expertise, that's your speciality, that's your, whether you focus on blacksmithing, that's a little line that's coming from that circle. So this is your circle and it's coming outwards. This is like your blacksmith trade. You become that's your speciality. That's your blacksmithing right there. But right here, this is your swordsmanship. That's it there. But in our life, that's the same concept. So this is your circle of norm, and this finger that comes out, this finger is your thread of your speciality, your trade. So if let's say you work in retail, you're awesome in retail. This is your like trait. This is your speciality. But if you decide to do something else at the same time, so you're good at retail, but at the same time you take sword fighting classes. You're a swordman over here. And that's how life works. That still works in that concept of like the circle and everything in there is your basic common skills that you pick up, and that's the same thing that everyone else.
The same as everyone else. It's like
but then when you start learning something, and that becomes your speciality. So whether you become blacksmithing, or swordsmanship, or gunsmithing, or whatever else, and then it's also the same concept goes in what you do in your job. So if you become proficient in your job, that's your speciality. Even if you don't like it or not, that's because that's what you get paid to do. But you have a choice. It's like any other RPG. You can focus in a different skill tree at the same time and become masters of two things in your own time.
Yeah.
And that's how life works. Whether you go, all right, awesome, I'm good at retail, but I've learned how to play guitar, and that's your skill tree going off from the normal common sense of the circle. And that's how life works. It's when someone learns, quantum physics, their speciality is that. But that common circle, that's how everyone gets to know each other and learns the same thing everyone else learns, and that's our basic needs. So life is in that sense, and it's great. It's great that you do it. Like it's if you understand that factor, that's how life kind of works. It is an RPG, and
it's an RPG, like
but you can expand that circle. That's the great thing about life.
Well, the thing is, like in real life, you have more things than on a game.
Oh yeah, exactly. But there's no cheat codes. But some there is a cheat code. Well, yes, but there is also a cheat code. It's called money. Money is a cheat code. Money is a cheat code because it's kind of like, all right, you know these common things, but it's the same thing as everyone else. But you have money, so you have the time. Because you have the money to learn even more skills, but like anything, you have that finite amount of time to learn those skills in the first place. So it's that is somewhat of a cheat code if you want to kind of go, I want to know everything. I have the money to flight classes, so I can learn how to fly a plane. That's a skill that other people don't have that you can. And like with anything else, money just helps you increase it faster. Because that means you have the funds to get a person who is already a master to teach you faster. But the great thing about life these days is because you can learn things from the internet, and the internet has an infinite amount of resources now. You can become your own master. So and that goes to the segue of our sponsor for today, Skillshare. No.
Oh god.
But. When we're talking about the whole bringing back to the Max thing, like the HBO, I just found out that that's leaving Binge in the half of next year because we're finally getting Max here.
Oh, we're finally getting Max.
Oh, okay. So it's rotating. Okay, so you know how.
Yeah, Max is getting
services.
Channel here.
Yeah. So Max is coming out as a streaming service, so it's rotating.
Yeah.
Because it's funny how the license.
Because I tried to look on Prime because you used to have Max on Prime, you can use it through that, but they took that away.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it's either
it is going to come back to Prime. You can just go through that to use it, but it's becoming a dedicated service here soon. So I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah, it's
good. I don't need Binge for it. Just get Max by itself.
Yeah.
But it's the funny thing how the licensings work and how it rotates between. So if you want to watch the first 3 seasons of one show, it's on Max, and then you can't watch any past that because the licensing for the next 2 seasons after that would be on Prime.
Yeah.
Which is the funny thing is because of that, that's why you have to have so many streaming services these days. You just can't have one. You have to have all of them.
I've only got
Catch
one.
them.
That's all I fucking need.
Well, yeah, it's great to do that, and I love it when service has one type of TV show and it's not going to leave that, like Netflix. Sometimes they do
that's
that.
That's like Prime, because Prime just has Prime content. Like,
the biggest culprit is movies.
Yeah.
The biggest culprit for movies is because you want to watch, like, let's say Beverly Hills Cop on like Prime, and then you realize it's on other thingos, and then you have to get that streaming service to watch it. And it's like, God damn it! You get into the rhythm, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do a trilogy. Yeah. I'm gonna watch all of them, and then you realize this one is on a service. That's that's one thing that'll piss people off.
Because I've got them all physically.
Well, that's true, and that's one. But there's still one thing that will piss people off over the holidays when they want to do a movie marathon. I've got all the time in the world. I'm gonna watch all this entire series of, let's say, Beverly Hills Cop or Die Hard. And then you're like, watch the first one, watch the second one, and then you realize you have to go to another streaming service to watch.
Oh, they've only got the second and third, or just the third.
Yeah, exactly, because the license between for
it. It's smart by the publishers because they can just say, just put it here, there, and there, done.
Oh yeah, and money, yeah, exactly. And that's
all like Prime. All Prime's content is on Prime.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they do connect you to go to other services that are on Prime.
Well, and that's our and I'd like to say there's also the other sponsor of the podcast today.
You can use it through Prime, which is nice.
Yeah, and I'm just saying also that is also the other sponsor of the podcast today, Amazon Prime.
We have no sponsors.
Using the promo code money.
Money. We're talking about things enough. It's like someone should be sponsoring it back.
Yeah, you should have sponsors. Go to like, you know.
I think we swear too much of having fucking sponsors.
Fuck that. Get sponsors. To be fair. Be like Joe Rogan. The first sponsor that he had was dildos, wasn't it? Or flashlights.
Yeah.
I think it was a flashlight, it was a flashlight. His first sponsor, and they had shitloads of swearing in it, and they didn't get fucked. And they're like, all right, you know, here's our sponsor. It's would you like to buy a flashlight? You know, if you don't like our content,
we're not sellouts. We're only take what we're interested in, which is.
I mean, flashlight seems pretty.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a natural.
I mean,
that's you know, it's.
Still.
I wouldn't mind getting a free sample.
Right.
I was going to say, Wookie's down.
I'm down. Just line up that sponsor for the flashlights. That's all I'm saying. I just want a free one. Go for that one of the Japanese company, the big flashlight suppliers, Kenko. I think it is Kenko. They're fantastic. It's just I'll DM you guys the email address for them. Let's tee that up.
Wookie just wants to get himself a mannequin.
No. Don't call it a mannequin. They're called life-size replicas.
But true, yeah. Life-size replica.
I'll send my details to your sponsor. I don't know. I don't care if it's blonde, brunette, or redhead. It's take off.
Right.
Yeah. It'd be a bit weird if they sent me ones that look like you guys, and you know, that'd be a little bit awkward.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Speaking of things like that, it was very weird because it popped up on it was an ad from Pop Culture.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say penis pills because those ads pop up for me all the time. They are the sexy single mothers in my area.
I have no reason why anyone would need it, but they had list up the getting inks, which I mean they connect to all. Like there'd be other people selling as well, but it's a 1-to-1 life-size scale of Megan from Megan. I'm like, who needs that? Why
Megan
does anyone?
Megan? What was
Megan
this? Who's Megan?
That horror movie with the robot girl.
What do you call it? Horror?
Isn't that a little bit? Isn't that a
kid?
That's a kid. That's a little bit.
That's what I mean. I'm like, why is this being made? Why is this like 1-to-1 scale, life size? Like, who allowed this to be made? Who is going to be buying that? Which I mean,
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a horror fan, yeah, sure.
But,
if
like,
it was
what,
next
but
to
even if
your
you're a
other
horror
ones,
fan,
like size of like
if it's
Michael Myers,
and that,
but like who has that?
Yeah.
Like, there's barely anyone that's gonna have like your set of like I'm gonna have my Jason Voorhees, my Freddy, my fucking Chucky, my Ghostface, and then make like what? I don't even put her in that category.
It makes sense if you are a collector of that.
But I don't even feel like she fits in that category.
It doesn't make sense when it's if you buy one and it goes next into the closet right next to your life size
I'm like,
pillow.
that's just very like. I was like, what? But why is this being made? Like, I don't even know of any like of life-size style like of Mike Myers or Jason. I've never seen them. I've never heard of them. But
I've seen them at conventions. I've seen them at conventions.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like they're conventions, but they used to promote other things and stuff like. But you know what I mean?
I've
like,
seen life-size fucking Star Wars characters just chilling someone's
I understand the fact of people ordering a life size of a child.
Yeah, I know it's a robot, but it's based off a child. Like,
but if it's part of a horror collection, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
even though I do have to quote, there was the creators of Ghost in the Shell, where they were like kind of like, what is it, Scarlett Johansson, where people uproar about, oh no, she's supposed to be Asian, and it's like even the creators of Ghost in the Shell were like, cyborgs have no gender.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, that makes sense. And it's like, yes, okay, it's a robot girl. It has no gender, therefore it's a robot. But I know what you're going for. It's a child. You're ordering a child.
Yeah, like it's very...
That's still weird as fuck.
It's very fucking weird. And that's what I was like when I saw it pop, I was like, why is this like... I was like, oh no. Like, I was like,
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pop-up of that.
Because where's the... Because,
that's just weird.
I'll see if I can find
that is weird.
Because even
it better be for a horror collection, like otherwise you're a fucking weird kid.
Yeah, it's very, very, very weird.
I understand there's niche market for certain things, but then that would go into two niche markets. One where I understand horror fans, but at the same time, there's a different type of fan that may order that and may also order an extension to that and kind of go, all right, I've got the first half, I'm just waiting the mail the second half. Don't worry, it's washing machine cleanable.
The fact that it's listed as Megan, a 1-to-1 scale life-size prop replica doll. I was like, and then they
people with weirder things,
and then they show you this, and then one of the photos that they have for it is the size chart, just to show you that it's the size of like that's the scale, because 1-to-1 scale.
I don't know what you're looking at to get those. Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are they got like that's pop? Like that's on their pop culture. Like what?
I mean, those things exist.
Oh, pop culture. Okay, pop culture. I understand what they do very niche markets, and it is technically under a horror.
It's
theory,
it's made by NECA.
Yeah.
NECA. But like that's just still like it's just we know what the internet's like. We know what people are like. That's why I'm like that's just very. Like, they gotta know what they're doing when they're making that. Like, there's gotta be a disturb... There's gotta be a reason why as well. No, but there's gotta be a reason why as well. Like, they need to think a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, they like, oh, Megan seems to have a very popularity with the... Like, okay, but you're mostly drawing in, again, a niche people that are not completely right, that are reasons why they're fans of this horror, and maybe not any other horror. Like, you know what I mean? And they're capitalizing on that. Like, they know. They clearly got to be aware that this is a possibility, and then they're capitalizing on it. Like,
yeah, but everything has a possibility.
Yeah.
Well, like... and you can't... What's the word? It's like going when... It's like saying, all right, people get stabbed, so you have to ban all knives.
Yeah, right.
It goes into that logic right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a possibility. And I understand it, and we're like, yeah, you think of it in that way, yes, it can be used like that, but at the same time, that's like, as I said, with knives. Like, people can stab people with knives. It's not going to stop you from selling it. And it is a very niche market, and they're probably advertising it for that niche market, and it is technically a horror genre, and I understand where you're coming from, where it's like, yes, people are going to think very weird, but like it's probably only a limited amount, and even then, like, yeah, you can't ban it. You can't ban it, but you can point out the obvious factor of what it can be used for. But it's like saying the thing is also life-size pillows with anime girls.
That's what I mean. It's just
you're not going to start going, well, someone who's going to hold a size pillow. They may have it for innocent reasons, but in the background, they can easily just cut a hole and install an extra factor to it and use it for that. And you're not going to start ranting on that, are you?
No, I was going to say, there was one of the stalls at Mount Cravat, and they were selling the body pillows that had the decorations on them. And some of them specifically had weird pockets made in them. Which I was like, there's clearly only one reason why a pocket is made at this spot for a reason. I'm like, why are they selling this at a shopping mall that people could just walk into and
for reference, which shop was that?
I was like, my god, it's literally
You said Mount Cravat, right?
So you go in there, it's like the dingiest like anime. It's clearly all the cheap shit that's anime stuff bought offline, but then they charge like upmarket prices for it.
Oh, I know which shop you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's the only.
I don't mean for that, but I've been there.
Yeah, but
because I walked past. Because also on Christmas shopping.
Like I can understand a body pillow to a point, but when they start specifically
I didn't notice those type of body pillows there. I wasn't like, is there a curtained off section?
There's literally one, because you know how some of them they make, they're like normal and the other side's like unscented. Uncensored.
What?
So they're like, so they're safe for work, and then it's not safe for work. Usually they're like the character clothes. Literally, I walked in one time and I was like, oh yeah, and for a laugh I was like, oh, and I turned it around and it was literally nude. And I was like, whoa, and I had to turn it back. I'm like, this shouldn't be something that needs to be flashed around in public. Like, I mean, I make lewd design works and I have them on the back of my car, so that's right. But like, this is a shop that's selling goods. Like, it's a shop in a center. Like, that's not somewhere where you'd expect to find that. Like, I could understand if it was like in a pawn shop. Oh yeah, you go into a pawn shop, like, you're expecting that, an adult store, you expect to find that.
Yeah.
But not in just a random shop that's like right next to fucking, whatever home housewares, and then smack bang right next door is like fucking Shoes R Us, like.
Fucking
like, it's just crazy some of the shit that's out there that people just sell at these like Asian shops, but just shit people sell. It's just like, so yes, it's like they're for something, and they're clearly like, let's just try and sell these, and a certain target audience is going to buy it, even though you just think in your back of your head, nah, they're not going to do it, but we're going to make money. Someone's going to be buying these, It's like
there's a market for everyone.
Exactly, and it's like, what you're doing when you're making some of this shit. Like, clearly people know what they're doing. Like, that's one of the possibilities. They just play dumb, like, oh yeah, no,
right.
Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah. So when next time I'm there, I'll keep an eye.
Yeah, you might see some.
I might buy some. I mean, what?
Yeah, might buy some.
I might buy some. It'll be Christmas presents. Yes, Christmas present. Well, you can't just buy one. You have to buy, because obviously it's going to get ruined.
You have to at least buy two.
Well, yeah, at the start, because they'll get crusty after a while. If you don't start cleaning them, just keep them in a closet, because it's not going to be fresh out in the open. It'd be like a wooden plank by the time you're done with it. It's just because it's going to be so encrusted and just like, when you kind of get that flakiness, it just happen after a while. You just don't want, and you don't want to wash it with everything, because you know what you've done to it.
Dobby's favorite sock.
Yeah, exactly. Dobby's favorite. It will end up with Dobby.
That's why that's why I was always making the jokes. Like, I was thinking about, I think that's why all those elves love the socks, because they always got a special sock with a special treat inside.
Yeah.
That's why they're obsessed with socks. I'm like, I don't know the fuck they're doing with their socks, but
who's putting treats in socks?
Well, What type of treat is it? Like a white moist treat?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's always the joke. People just playing with socks. It's just like, clearly that's like, I was like, there's got to be a reason why they're obsessed with socks. Like, I don't know why.
For some reason, I think that's the reason why I was given socks for Christmas presents, because my mother knew I was going through them. Like, it's like, why do you only have one?
More white socks.
The other one. It's like, yeah, I know where it is. It's underneath the bed. No one wants to touch it.
I have 0 socks basically. I don't wear socks. I don't use socks. I don't have anything need for socks. I hate socks.
What'd you come into when you were a coach? When you were younger?
That's what they're fucking done before.
Activate me everywhere.
Obviously, you never came into socks when you were a child. If you don't like socks, what did you?
Hygiene,
oh,
brother.
God.
Fucking hell.
Hygiene.
Oh, the shower there. Like like my younger brother would. Yeah, like my younger brother would take it.
Extra long
like
shower.
he's extra long showers, and my mum would go, "You know why he's in there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Just don't tell me. You don't like get out of the shower." I'm like, no, Mum, just leave him. It's hygiene.
I mean, that's something we could go down. I think this is for another day. Like, I feel like this is like a whole episode on its own.
Oh yeah.
Like I would happily. I have stories and things I would love to go down and like they could have a lot of TMI, but like I feel like that's just for a whole another episode. Like that's something we're going to.
It is, yeah. Like, and we've gone on for nearly 3 hours.
I would love, because that's what I was going to say. Because like,
I didn't realize.
I would love to talk about so much shit. There's so much shit I would love to fucking talk about there. But
and it's been a while since I've been in podcast, so I've just had flowed.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I think
we'll have to, and being well, I mean, it would be fitting because it is Christmas, everything's white, but this one time I think we'll save it for another episode. That one. But
it's not. No, it can snow.
I got some. There's some stories I could talk about that are a bit more personal than they should be, but it yeah.
We're in Australia. The only snow that we see is at our Christmas parties. What?
That's it.
In the bathrooms.
The Christmas party.
Oh.
It's a tradies Christmas party, if you know what I mean. $400 for a little mate. No,
I actually at a party once, people were drinking in the bathroom. It was weird.
Yeah, because I remember lines of Coke as well.
Yeah.
But no, none of that. It was just drinking in the bathroom.
No, it happens. I've done that.
It's a bit quieter, maybe. Even.
Yeah, because when you go take a piss, you take the drink with you.
And someone comes
so you put it on the stall, and you take your piss, and you keep drinking.
Right.
There's no stopping. All you're doing is just like replacing what you just lost.
Yeah,
exactly. Or you go like a line that just goes all through.
Yeah, no, but I say everyone's in the piss drinking, but then otherwise you end up having that one mate come with you. You go, "Oh, can you hold my drink while I go for a piss?" So they come with you. You're chucking a piss. They're holding the drink. Then someone else comes by. They start talking. You're pissing. Then you're pissing. And they're like, "Oh," and then you all get stuck talking because you're washing your hands. Next thing, everyone's congregating in the bathroom, and you're all just fucking standing there having a conversation. So you're stuck there for the rest of the night.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense because you can have a yarn in the butt when you're taking a piss, or even just when you're there, just go, "Oh, I've just finished taking a piss." But someone brought up a good conversation, so you start having chat.
Right.
It's been a while. I need to go out again. It's been a while.
You need to go out again.
I need to go have a good bathroom stall chat. Fucking, they're great.
Yeah, but also we need a good house party. Have everyone eliminators, or at least an apartment party, like convention.
I know. I haven't done anything like that for a long time.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have kids.
Yeah.
You just start catering for them, and you're like, "Oh God, I can't get on the."
Well, if you're responsible.
I know.
Oh, that's what babysitters are for, right?
Right. I mean, it's good.
And parents.
It's good when I used to have parties here. It was good. People need to be able to like get home if they can get home themselves. I'd happily have a party here again.
Yeah, but we're a lot easier now. Before it would be like, all right, you call a taxi, but taxis were expensive. The irony now is yeah, they are expensive, but when you still compare it to surcharges for like weekend rates, nighttime rates for Uber, taxis have actually been a lot cheaper now compared to Ubers. Because I was out for my work Christmas party. I actually paid cheaper for a taxi to get back home than what Uber was charging me.
So they're charging normal prices.
Yeah. Compared to the surcharge. So just that consideration.
I ordered a pizza, went for 3 hours. For like 3 hours away. I was like, can you deliver a pizza? No.
Yeah. But yeah, the surcharges going on. Taxis are actually cheap, and if you download the app, they'll tell you the flat rate as well, and it'll be
that's even easier. God dang.
Yeah. But yeah, don't get those dodgy taxis that don't tell you. Always have to watch that.
Oh, it's a dodgy taxi called Uber. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're all. Actually, it's Christmas time.
I will speak of that before we do wrap up and going. Speaking of going out, so this was yesterday actually, and this is typical. I mean, Wookie might know. Jim knows, but it's Ed, so he knows what Ed's like. So the whole time yesterday afternoon, I said because he was free, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because he wanted to bail out seeing this. Like, I think a chick was coming over, and he wanted to bail out on them coming over, and I said to him, like, it's kind of like rough because like it's like you've caught me on a time that I'm busy. I've got to catch up with the in-laws, like doing shit. I've got to catch up with the in-laws, go have dinner, then we're going to look at Christmas lights. After that, I'm not sure when I'm finished, but I'll be free. So the whole time we go there, he's messaging. I'm like, it's like, dude, it's like it's like I'm laughing back, jokes up. It's like I'm still looking at lights, Like I told you, I'm busy. I get home, I'm like, get back, send him a photo of a beer. It's like I'm home now. He's like, all right, cool, I'm heading out, and I'm like, where are you going? Doesn't fucking respond for like a whole bunch of time, and next week sends me another message, and he's in the car driving. It's like, bro, like, that's why I said, like, if you wait, like, that's why I said, like, this is what's happening. After that, let me, like, communicate with you, and I can figure out what, we could do something. And he just goes out, fucking, he's in the city or something, and I'm like, if you just waited, and that's why I asked you where you're going, because I said, hey, bro, come pick me up. I'll come out with you, or come here or some shit. And he's like, the whole time, he's just like, for fuck's sake, I'm like, you're the one that, like, ran the gun, like, that's why I said I gave you what I was doing, and then when I was done, I was doing nothing. I said this, so that, like, once I got back, I can figure out what I was doing, and I had to go for a shit, so I come home, message him, have my drink, I'm trying to have a shit, and then it's like, but then there's no reply. I'm like, I've tried to communicate with you, and then when I'm trying to message you to connect, you're just, like, not replying because you're driving or whatever. It's like, I was trying to ask you. It's like, I can't ask when you're not even replying anyway. It's like, it's just like, bro, like,
right.
Every time I've tried to, like, hang out with him, he's, like, doing something else or can't, and already got other plans. It's like, well, it's not on me. Like, fuck. Like, I'm trying to when I'm free. That's why I was like, it's Friday night. I'll be down to go out and do something. Like, just wait till I've gotten back if you haven't already gone out. And that's what I was like, I was like, I don't know if he's going up to catch the chick or doing anything else or just going. He could have been going for a Macca's run. Like, I'm going to head out. Like, he could be going for a Macca's run or something. Like, like, oh, if you go, that's why I asked, like, where are you going? Like, that's communication to go, well, if you're going here, I'll come with you. Or going, if you're seeing a chick, well, of course I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I won't ask you to come pick me up. Like, it's common sense, I was like, bro, like, the whole time, it's just like, I just, like, said everything afterwards. I'm like, it's just like, for fuck's, like, I said, for fuck's sake, I'm like, well, like, I asked you. You didn't reply. It's like, don't get mad at, like, you get mad, but, like, don't get mad at even at yourself. It's just like, I asked and you were too busy, like, rushing off because you impulsively needed to get out. It's like, if you just, like, read your messages, like, I was like, oh. So I just sat here last night and just drinking. I was like, whatever.
Too easy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I would have said come over because I'm home now. Like, but you impulsively, like, oh, I'm going to head out. It's like, I could even, that's like, even before asking, like, where are you going? Like, I could have said, hey, come over. And he would have already shot off because he didn't clearly want to read his messages, or he was trying to be funny because I was busy and I didn't read his messages. Like, well, I already said I'm busy, so I'm not going to be able to reply to your messages, you dickhead. Like, it just coherently doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Rant over.
Yeah, rant over. But it's just like, just trying to catch up with people and do something. It's just like frustrating sometimes. I want to get out sometimes. It's just like, even just go for a drive or something. You know what I mean? Like, especially nowadays because I'm so cooped up because I don't have my neighbours anymore to really talk to. and get on the piss with. It's just like boring sometimes.
Well, yeah. I'm working at this period, so I'm communicating with people because it's work.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I've got time off for my birthday next month, in January. At least a week off, so I'll be doing something.
Still need to get out. You know what I mean? Still need to get out and like socialize. Like I've been doing it with working because
there's a hot pot place that just opened in Sunnybank in Queensland. Garden Square, I think it's called Soul, Garden Soul, or
I think I've seen it. Yeah,
Korean Soul. Yeah, it's apparently Australia's biggest hot pot place. Hot pot / Korean.
Hot pots here, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a hot pot / Korean barbecue. So it's the biggest one in Australia apparently. Just opened up in Sunnybank. It's Soul Garden or something like that. They've got one in Melbourne, but they just built one in Sunnybank, Queensland.
I
it's
saw
biggest
hot pot
one
for the
there.
first time a few days ago, and fucking hell, that looks phenomenal.
So I'm tempted to go out for that. I want to go for a hot pot / Korean barbecue. I think it's like $50 all you can eat buffet.
That's
good deal. That's not bad. So I'm tempted to do that. So I'll try and
don't get to wear your finger sweatpants.
Oh yeah. Wear my stretchy pants for that, and then treat myself and buy myself a life-size pillow from down the road. Right? It's just, I'll put it deep into a garbage bag after I'm done. Try and bend it. I'll have to fold it because it'll be like cardboard.
They'll think you've got a murdered body in there. Fuck,
right?
I think I have a Japanese schoolgirl murdered because if they see the face and the outfit.
God dang it!
Oh god.
Oh god.
Anyway.
I'm terrible. Aren't you glad you invited me? I'm
always good. So we could have more of these conversations, but it's gonna definitely have to be left for another episode.
More of getting rid of dead bodies, or I meant just like
nonsense talk. Like there's so much random shit I could go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I need to go try and get some video games done tonight. Play some Escape from Tarkov. Back to it again. That's mine. It's the hard game. Trying to smash it out, but I really need to go take a piss.
Yeah, no, all good. I think this 3-hour episode. We haven't had one of these for a while. We joked. It's a Christmas special, so.
It is Christmas special.
The main theme of this was about the gift of giving. We did talk about a lot of gifts, and we did talk about a giving.
Actual long podcast.
We also talked about little things about receiving.
We gave people ideas to buy a life-size fucking doll of a child.
No.
Just put that in someone's stocking and just enjoy that. Or body pillows. Now you know where to go for body pillows.
Yeah, exactly.
So down Mount Cravat, there's a store there. Not going to say the name. It's probably not a good thing to say the name. Or Fleshlights. Yeah. One of our sponsors tonight. Kiko, the Fleshlight company from Japan. Along with Amazon Prime, use the promo code Fleshlight. It was cash, but we just changed it then to Fleshlight. Money. Type down money or Fleshlight. Money and Fleshlight. We've just changed it then again. Use the promo code.
Fleshlight give you 100% off.
Yeah. No. It doesn't it gets you off, but doesn't get you any money off.
Okay, yeah.
If
it'll get you 100% off.
Yeah. It'll get you 100% off. Not the deal. You just got to pay full price. And if it says invalid code, well, at least you put a fleshlight to kind of mitigate that.
Right.
And a body pillow. You just combine the two, and you've got yourself a good Merry Christmas. Yeah.
It'll get you 100% off.
Yeah. Buy the fleshlight and a life-size doll, and you've got.
This
just terrible.
That'd be weird to close on that. But what's something else quick?
Just wrap it up. We're just gonna have to end on it.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up before the police. I need to go to the bathroom, and tub is set up, or at least just see how it's going, and then I can just relax now and just I'm gonna have the rest of this tequila, enjoy them, and
nice.
Don't worry, I think there's like 12 bottles downstairs to enjoy as well. Somewhere I'll just hit up the housemate, and that's going to be Christmas. But I'm going to go to the bottle shop and buy some more, enjoy some margaritas in the hot tub. So
margaritas in a hot tub. Ooh.
Oh yeah, it's going to get so wasted. It's going to be like hot tub time machine.
Oh damn!
that was the idea. It is a 7-person.
Oh,
it is big. It is big. Yes, that's going to be quite.
So when you said potty in the hot tub, we'll all be pottying in your hot tub.
It is big. So like it can easily fit like me, Dale, and Jim, no issues. It is a big ass hot tub. It is arranged for 7 people, and it's not like tiny people. It is big people.
It's like that massive space.
Oh yeah, massive, massive.
It's like a party in that.
100%.
Yeah, that is a human soup.
Yeah, so I got that to look forward to this Christmas time. We'll see how that goes. So yes, and it'll be like hot tub time machine without the bath bomb suggested. Set it to the toaster setting. But we'll wrap this up because
Yes, Jim, to the outro.
Yes. Brain fart. But on that, yes, thank you, Beardy, for joining us on the Chrissy special.
Yes.
And they went all out. I didn't do anything.
At least someone can be like. At least I committed to make it feel Christmassy. We had our guest on with a Christmas hat.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just wrap me up in a bow. I'm all yours.
But we'll thank Wookie for joining us on this one.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on, Wookie. And we appreciate you watching, listening. We have been Dale, Jim, and Wookie. We'll catch you guys next week for the last episode of 2024.
Right.
Bye-bye. Yeah, right. 2024. Like I said last, like a bit earlier, like we're hitting a quarter of a century next year.
I mean, if I upload it in the right time, it'll be the last episode of 2024. If I'm late at uploading it, it'll be the first episode of 2025. But that's next week. We'll figure that out.
Right.
Oh my god, that's good.
I'm off, guys. Thanks for the invite. I need to go.
Adios, amigos.
I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, man.
Adios. And enjoy.
Merry Christmas.
Your new sponsor, the Kinko fleshlights.
Merry Christmas, my guy.
Merry Christmas.
Talk to you after.
Shoot me when I've more time off for Christmas. I'll come by and we'll do something.
Yep.